Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Islamic Online Podcast. I'm back with a new episode. So, inshallah, in today's episode, we will again be joined by none other brother MENJ. Assalamualaikum, bro.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. Always pleasure to be on your channel, mashallah, brother. Thank you for inviting me again.
No worries, bro. No worries. So, I had to actually start the stream again a bit later than usual, because
Yeah,
we had to get some figure some things out.
I had to do some things as well, so it's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So no worries.
Mm.
I know we're late, so hopefully we're gonna get some brothers. Hopefully coming soon, because
Yeah.
usually my audience shows up around 8, 9, 10. I saw
Okay.
some of the steps, so they should be here, inshallah.
Yeah, and
So
inshallah
how
they
are you,
should
bro?
be.
How are things over there in Malaysia?
Things have been really hectic. As you know, I'm writing a new book. Well, it's a monograph, I guess you could say. It's less than a book. It's about the Rohingya, and there has been this polemic going around about the Rohingya. So I'm,
Mm.
I'm actually writing a history on the Rohingya to clear things up. So yeah, so that's what my project is, and then I have some other ongoing projects as well. Hopefully, my book on the Malaysian police will be printed by the end of this month, inshallah. So that's my latest book. Yeah.
Yeah, let's actually talk about it for a bit. So what's going on with the Rohingya situation there?
Yeah, so basically what happened was early last month in June, okay, there was this Rohingya lady, okay, in Australia. She made a speech last year, but the recording was circulated in that particular week that I mentioned, June last month. Okay, so in this particular speech, she was relating her experience as a Rohingya refugee uh, who had to escape the genocide in Arakan, okay, in Rakhine
Mm.
State, and how she escaped to and by boat, and she traveled to Malaysia. Okay, and then she rated some of her experiences while she was a refugee in Malaysia, and she made a statement some which where she said that there are currently 2,000 Rohingyan children who are currently being held in immigration depots in Malaysia. So that particular statement, which by the way is true, I fact checked that, and turns out to be it is true. She wasn't making up stories about it. So because of this particular statement, where she said that 2,000 children were being held in immigration depots, this caused a lot. I don't know. There was a sudden surge of hate against this lady. First, it was directed
Mm.
at this lady for making such a statement to them, to these people. They say no, their claims are that she was ungrateful for saying something like this. She should have been more grateful. She should have made such a statement attacking Malaysia, and to them, making such a statement is an attack on Malaysians when it's actually about a government policy. It has nothing to do with Malaysians in particular, but Malaysians just felt offended about that. And then I think the attack, the trolling from the Malaysian netizens was so large that she had to shut down her account. She turned her account private on Instagram, and
Mm.
then after that, things started become worse. The angers of the Malaysian public online suddenly shifted towards the Rohingya themselves, who are currently in Malaysia. So
Mm.
people started questioning, why are these people here? What's the benefit they are giving to us? These people are dirty. These people are
Mm.
messing up the economy. They are causing us to lose jobs. Blah blah blah. All the BS that you usually hear from. The rhetoric that they use are mostly what you hear from those
Yeah.
who follow the MAGA movement. By the way, so it's nothing new.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
basically, this is like
yeah.
an ultra nationalist thing, right? So
It
yeah.
started off as something of I guess you could say a sort of anger towards this lady. Her name was Noor Aziza, by the way. So
Mm.
it started off as a sort of a response to Noor Aziza, and then it just escalated into racial hate towards Rohingya.
Mm.
And now people are saying, why don't we just push them out of the country? Why don't we just send them back to where they belong? Why don't we
Mm.
just just get rid of them? All this kind of very very racial and disgusting statements. I hate to admit this, but my countrymen are really disgusting people at the moment. I really am. To be honest, truly, I tell you
Mm.
right now, from the bottom of my heart, I really feel ashamed of being a Malaysian now at the moment. okay, because it's really horrible. The things that I don't even want to say the things that I don't even want to repeat the things that they say in Malay
Mm.
in English here, because it's
Yeah.
really something which no normal human would ever say about
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
human being. Yeah. Sorry, you're muted, brother. Can't hear you. Hello? I know for some reason you're muted. I think you better check your connection. Hello? I think you're back. Hello? No, you're not back. Hello? Hello? I can hear some buzzing from your end, but now it's silent. It's dead silent now. Okay, I think you're back.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
okay. Finally I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear
Oh,
you.
okay.
Loud and
That's
clear.
nice.
Yeah, loud and clear. All right.
Nice.
I don't know what happened just now. Yeah, you were saying? Yeah.
Yeah, the mic sometimes cuts off. I don't know why.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I think when it comes to this issue,
Mm.
actually this similar issue happened in my country too, but it
Mm.
was kind of didn't last very long.
Yeah.
So inshallah, we will talk about this in another stream,
I think we
especially
should.
regards to the
Yeah. I
whole
think
kind
we
of
should.
racism issue in the Muslim
Yeah, I
world,
agree. Yeah, I
and
think we
how
should.
kind of like
We should do that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, how kind of like this kind of nationalism divides us basically, and
Yeah.
oftentimes to our detriment. All right, like for even if you're like proud of your country, oftentimes it does more harm to make divisions among Muslims than benefit. Because if
You
Muslims
see
are divided, or
you
if
see
Muslim countries are divided,
one thing about this issue is that I noticed the hypocrisy. You see, because these people who were saying that Rohingyans are this, Rohingyans are that, we should push them out. Most of them
mm,
were actually using Palestinian profiles in their yeah, and they were saying, "Oh, support the Gazans. The Gazans are being genocided by the Israelis." But why are they not doing they're not saying the same thing for the not showing their support for the Rohingya, which are also who are also being genocided in Arakan. So I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
get the hypocrisy there. Yeah, the double standards. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it
But
is.
yeah, inshallah, we will talk about it. But let's get
Mm.
the show started back on.
Yeah, sure,
So
sure.
basically, both of us were reviewing the debate between, the three Muslims, Itachi, uh, but the Muslim apologetic, and then Sira Pro.
Yeah, no, it's fine if he uses my name. It's fine. It's not a copyrighted.
So, so, so basically, we were reviewing the debate with Michael Jones, aka, uh, you know, inspiring or expiring philosophy, as some people call them.
Yeah,
So basically, we were reviewing their debate with them, and we were halfway through.
yeah.
But because there is a lot to cover, we have to make this into two part. So we're gonna cover the rest of it. So you ready, bro? Let's get started, inshallah.
Yeah, okay, sure. If we can cover it in two parts, that is, it might be too long for us to cover in two parts. We might need to actually do a third part depending on the reviews.
No, I
Yeah,
think we can cover it. We can cover
yeah.
it.
Hopefully, yeah. Inshallah.
All right, let's get started. By the way,
Okay,
one
sure.
brother is watching. I see. Leave a comment,
Oh,
inshallah. If you guys
that's good.
like the
Alhamdulillah.
stream, don't forget to
Yeah.
like, share, subscribe, and so yeah, Bismillah. Let's get
Sure.
started.
Okay, let's go.
Let me choose the speed.
Yep.
1.5 is good.
1.5 is good enough.
All right, let's get started. Bismillah.
Similarly, his contemporary Salam bin Yerubim, in his Arabic commentary, he wrote, "As we know, the temple remained in the hands of the Romans for more than 500 years, and they did not succeed in entering Jerusalem," speaking about the Jews. "And anyone who did this was recognized as a Jew, was put to death. But when the Romans left it by the mercy of the God of Israel and the kingdom of Ishmael was victorious, Israel was permitted to come and to live." So this is under the Islamic rule of Umar. He's the one who allows for them. I can quote you another reference where he talks about how he's the one who invited 70 families from the Jews to come back into
Save it
Jerusalem
from who?
to save the Christians.
The Catholic Christians?
The Catholic
Oh, the Roman
Christians.
Christians? Okay.
Let's now address it. Now, so where are the Jews now living today?
Yeah, many different
Yeah,
parts of the world.
they're the numbers.
They don't live anywhere. They stole someone's land, and that's where they live.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, he
basically.
supports. I'm pretty sure.
He does, I
I'm
think,
pretty sure
yeah,
this
he does.
weasel supports this.
Definitely he does, because yeah, Israel, because the gathering of Jews in the land they call Israel is basically the precursor towards the second coming of Christ. For them, this must
Hmm.
happen first before Jesus, alayhi salam, is supposed to return. So it's part of their eschatology. So if without this, Jesus will not come. So he has to support it anyway. I mean, in his understanding, that is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that makes sense.
Mhm.
And because like things like this is very common among Christian apologetics. I don't know why this happens. Like him,
Yeah,
then David Wood.
evangelicals actually, they are
Yeah, yeah,
more into this compared to other types of Christians. There are so many types of Christians. There are Catholics, Orthodox, Protestants,
yeah, yeah.
evangelicals,
Hmm.
Episcopal. So Orthodox. Yeah. So he's just one of
Hmm.
them. Okay,
Yeah,
but he's a more extreme version of a Christian. You see? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I actually wanted to cover something. I don't know if I covered it last
Mm,
time we were discussing. So basically, they are having a debate about,
yeah.
uh, you know, uh, which is better for society, Islam or Christianity. He's
Right.
obviously on the side of Christianity, and he
Yeah.
basically the argument I wanted to present was about genocide, right? Because Christianity clearly allowed genocide
Right.
in every possible world. Therefore, it's
Mm,
objectively harmful for society. Where the only
yes.
argument he has against, like Islam, is that it may cause harm, right? In some
Yeah.
case or scenario, therefore it's harmful. But the term may doesn't actually follow logically, right? Because
Yeah.
it may not,
Mm,
right? So
yeah.
this is a possible argument. So it's not a very solid argument. It's not a
Yeah.
solid argument at all.
I mean, his
You can
best.
argue,
I mean,
yeah,
I mean, the best argument that he has against Islam so far is the Prophet's marriage to Aisha and cousin marriages. That's it. Those are the two things that he has presented so far. He hasn't talked about any other issues.
yeah. And
Yeah.
even on that front,
Mm,
like he failed to show any reason why that marriage was harmful at that time,
yeah.
especially
Yeah.
because no one considered it harmful. So,
Yeah.
like, he's just taken L's throughout this whole debate, and I
Yeah. I
think
mean. I mean.
this is
I mean,
something.
I mean,
By the way,
people has been. I think people have been marrying, women who have reached puberty for centuries, and then suddenly comes along this guy in the
yeah,
21st century, and then he says that this is harmful to mankind, to civilization. Just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah.
yeah. By the way, I'm gonna share something, and that's interesting. I mean, I
Okay.
think it's well known. I think you know about this incident. It's
Mm-hmm.
about. Let me stop sharing this. It's about the massacre that happened in at the hands of Christians. It
Oh.
happened in this one, Beziers. So it was a fight between the Orthodox and the Catholics,
Oh, I don't know
right?
about this one. Yeah. I mean, there were so many fights. I mean, there's so
Yeah,
many
yeah. I think
massacres
this is
between
part of the
them.
first major battle of the Crusades that
Ah.
basically
Okay.
resulted
Okay.
in the destruction of the city.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
Hold
That's
on, let
interesting.
me quote something.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Christians have a history of killing each other for centuries. Yeah, it's not surprised there. Protestants killing Catholics, Catholics killing Protestants, Catholics killing Eastern Orthodoxes. No surprise. Vice versa.
Yeah, yeah,
It's happened throughout the history. Yeah.
yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can find the actual quotation.
Hmm.
Uh,
Take your time. Don't worry.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna find it. Here we go. Oh, I can't find it for some reason. So basically, the statement. Oh, I think I found it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's the
Sure.
one.
Sure.
Kill them all. God will sort them out. God will know His own. So this is the one. So let me read this actually.
Okay.
So this is Almeric own version of the siege, described in his letter to Pope Innocent in August 1209.
Mm-hmm.
States, indeed, because there is no strength, nor is there cunning of God. We still go Catholics. Okay, I don't think this one. When they
Mm.
discovered the admissions of some of them that they were Catholics mingled with the heretics, they said to the abbot, "Sir, what shall we do?" for we cannot distinguish between the faithful and the heretic. The abbot, like the others, was afraid that many, in fear of death, would pretend to be Catholics, and after their departure would return to their heresy. And is said to have replied, Credios ios novit enim dominos que stat eius. Kill them all, for the Lord will know his own.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
Latin.
countless
Yeah,
numbers in that town were slain. So this is
yeah.
where
There
the
you go.
famous statement comes:
There
"Kill
you
them
go.
all, God will know His own."
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
I mean, these
Yeah.
Christians were so dumb. So they went there to kill these heretics, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, this sounds like a Monty Python sketch, right? Monty Python sketch. I don't know if you saw
Yeah.
watch Monty Python.
Yeah. I do.
So,
I did. I have. Yeah.
so they
I
can
have.
find the heretics in the town because it's full of people of different religions, right? So they can find Orthodox. So what are they going to do? So their soldiers, they tell their leaders, hey, what do we do here? And he says that, oh, kill them all, God will find his own.
Yeah, it sounds so stupid. I mean, what the heck, man?
And this is what I'm saying, right? This is what Christianity promotes. This is literally
Exactly.
what Christianity promotes, right?
Yep.
Because you will find this, and I already quoted all the statements from the Bible, where Moses in Deuteronomy clearly, God clearly instructed Moses to commit genocide.
Yeah.
And so they're following through on that, right? This is not anti-biblical. This is completely biblical. This is based on the
Yes.
Bible. So it's not like they're doing some kind of evil sin. No, they're aligned with their Bible. They're aligned with their book. And this is what Christianity allows in every possible scenario.
Yeah.
And that's why Christianity is objectively more harmful than anything else.
Yep.
Let's get back to the debate.
Mhm.
So that's something I forgot to kind of like share last time.
Mm.
I don't know if I forgot, but like I wanted to share this because it's an interesting fact. Hold on.
This guy.
Yeah. So let's continue, inshallah.
Okay, let's go.
It's because of horrible oppression that is happening. Yeah. I'm going to address it. Yeah. Oh, man, my goodness, man. It's 4 people first. Let me talk. It's insane.
Hey,
I'm
brother
talking
doctor is here.
about what is
Brother Doctor is here. Salam,
Oh, okay.
welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
Long time. 2
Assalamualaikum.
weeks.
Assalamualaikum, brother. Good to see you. What's with the
Well,
DP?
it
I think
says
previously,
it was my 25th birthday.
previously he had like a mask on his DP. Right now it's a guy who looks like
Power Rangers.
Megazord. Power Rangers, yeah. Some okay,
Yeah.
it's great.
Welcome, bro. Welcome back. Oh, by the way, I don't know if happy birthday, I guess. I think he
Yeah.
reached 25th. So young.
It's so young, brother.
Makes
I
me
mean,
feel old.
I feel so old right now. My
Yeah, let's
25th birthday
continue,
was like 20 years ago.
better. And as both of these religions have developed societies, clearly the Christian West has allowed a lot more religious freedom, as the sociological research shows. Again, the book, The Price of Freedom Denied, shows that in the Middle East, Jews.
Hold on.
Oh, what happened to him? Brother, you disappeared. Okay, you're back. I can't hear you right now. Oops. Disappeared again.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What's happening? Hello? Oops. You're gone again.
Give me a minute. I'm not
Are you
sure.
back? Are you back? Oops. You disappeared again.
Hold on.
Sorry, I think we are having some technical difficulties with Brother Islamic calling. Let's just wait for him, okay?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah, you're here. Oops, you disappeared again.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
back.
there's a connection issue with your side. Okay, now you're back.
Hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, not sure. There's some issues going on with the camera. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
No, it's okay.
All right.
Happens.
Let's get back.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Christians,
Let's go
heterodox
with-
groups like the Alawites, for example, or the Baha'i, they are being oppressed on high levels versus what's happening in the West. So yeah, as these religions develop societies, Christianity has led to far less oppression than what we see in Islam. This is backed by research. Therefore, Christianity is better for society. By the way, Jonathan Fox found similar results.
Okay, so
again, like your argument doesn't follow because it's based on kind of like ambiguity fallacy is committing. So hold on, where's the argument that I wanted to share here? So basically, uh, what is that? So basically, he is arguing. Uh, oh, there we go. Let me share the screen on this so you guys can
Right.
understand what the argument he's
Right.
making actually.
Right.
Let me share screen window. There we go. Let me know if you guys can see this. It's from my little notes.
Mm.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see your notes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So this is his not this one actually. It's on down here somewhere. No, actually, that is his argument. That is his argument. Go back.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, he's arguing Islamic. Sorry. Yeah, this one. Islam allows X, therefore Islam will cause X. Right. So Islam allows certain XYZ thing, therefore it will cause certain XYZ thing. It doesn't follow. It's a non sequitur. Right? Just because Islam allows something doesn't mean it will cause that thing or cause harmful aspect of the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's just, it doesn't follow. It's a stupid argument.
It is.
And this is what he's been hampering about. And then he obviously
he has always been. He's
Yeah.
basically what he's doing is he's appealing to emotion, so people don't actually see this true. You know, I mean, people just say, "Oh, you're married to a young girl, so
Yeah.
you're your ex, therefore you are going to cause this." You know, they don't actually see the sequence of logic and determine whether whether that logic actually follows. See?
Yeah.
It's all about emotion.
Yeah,
It's all about
so
playing to
he's
the Gary.
whining about like the marriage. Again, Christianity allows
Yeah.
this, both of this, like all the examples objections he has against Islam, he should have against Christianity because they are allowed in Christianity.
Exactly.
Right? So it's just it doesn't
like
follow.
like the first cousin's marriage, right? I showed
Yeah.
previously in our first stream the verse which where God actually commanded Moses to tell his people to marry their first cousin. So it came from God, and if we follow that logic, the Christians believe that God is Jesus, right? So are you trying to tell us that Jesus actually commanded Moses' people to marry their first cousins? You have a problem with that?
Yeah, exactly.
You see, and if they try to argue it another way around, they say, "Oh, that was the old commandment, so now we are following the new commandments of Jesus." Then we can ask them. So Jesus forgot that cousin marriages was harmful during the first stage of commandments, and then only now he decided to change his mind.
I mean, New Testament. I think there are examples of cousin marriage in New
Yeah.
Testament too, right?
I haven't come across as explicit as the one that I showed you. I haven't come across that, but there's no verse forbidding cousin marriages in the New Testament. So
Yeah.
it's not even an issue.
And it is clearly allowed in like Old Testament, but that's not only objection he has. He has objection with Islamic marriage or like the type of marriage Islam allows, which by the way is also something that Christianity allows as well. So Islamic marriage possibly causes sex, therefore Islamic marriage will cause sex. It doesn't follow. But also this is also allowed in Christianity. So his argument is just like stupidity, and it just doesn't follow. But anyway, let's get back to the debate, inshallah.
Let's go back. Yeah, sure.
And another thing is that he's saying that Islam allows more harm, but it doesn't. Like he hasn't been able to show that. All he's showed that there are certain rules and regulation that exist in Islam, but that also exists in Christianity. So how is Islam more harmful in that case? So basically, it's a possible argument. It doesn't follow.
Yeah.
Because he's saying that it's like Islam may cause this, therefore Islam will cause this. It doesn't follow. But the argument I made is objective. Like it's an objective argument.
Yeah.
Where genocide is harmful to society in every possible world. Christianity caused genocide and will cause again in the future. Therefore, Christianity is harmful in every possible world. It's a kind of like objective argument based on
based on
possible
history,
world.
based on definitely, and we have the history to back it up as well. So it's not something alien. It's not something alien either. I mean, they have done it before, and they will do it again. You see.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a
Mm.
more uh, moral logic basically. If you use moral logic, his argument doesn't follow. But anyway, let's continue.
Mm. Yeah.
Share screen. There we go.
Historically speaking, right? Because that's what we were talking about
Right.
earlier. But now you're
If Christianity is harmful, then what about the Catholics committing genocide against the against the Cathars or the
Yeah.
Orthodox? That's not harmful. The example I
Exactly.
just showed, they're literally
Yeah.
saying that, oh, kill them all, God will sort his own. That's not harmful, I
Yeah.
guess, in
Hmm.
in Michael's
Yeah.
eyes.
Western
Yeah.
Christianity, which
Exactly that.
there is, it's going to be, if there is, it's going to be in like places like Brazil or South America or anything. Not here in the U.S. though. So when it comes to Christianity historically, are you trying to make the claim that there was not, persecution of individuals who
No.
tried to proselyte? Really?
I'm not saying there was no
Oh,
persecution.
okay, okay. I thought you were saying, okay. So,
It's about which is better.
so wait.
It's about which is better.
Hold on. So Christianity does allow for that, correct?
No.
No? Deuteronomy 13 doesn't allow for that?
No,
It doesn't tell you to stone
Are you
people who
kidding
call
me?
you to another God that's
Is
not the God of
Deuteronomy
Israel?
the new covenant?
Is that the same
Is
God?
Deuteronomy
Is it the
the
same
new
God?
covenant? What is the new covenant?
Is it the same God?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
It
the
is
same
the same
God.
God, and he prescribed that in the past.
New covenant.
Yeah.
The new covenant.
I just mentioned that earlier, right? I just mentioned
This
that
is such
Christians
a
always
stupid
use
argument. I
They
mean,
always
like,
use
it
this
doesn't
argument.
matter if it's a new covenant or an old covenant. Your God
They
allowed it
always-
in the past.
They always use this argument. It's nothing new from there. I'm not surprised. Yeah, totally. Christians don't take me by surprise anymore. Everything and
So,
anything that they've said, I already know what they're going to say.
so,
Yeah,
so when God did it in the past, it was okay, but now it's
yeah,
not. So you
yeah.
objectively is admitting that God did something wrong. So like,
In fact, they are actually suggesting that God can change His mind. Apparently, God, didn't realize that it was evil in the past, and then
yeah.
now He decided to change His mind and do it a different way. So He
Yeah,
didn't know about this before. I thought God is omnipotent, omniscient, knows everything.
yeah. So this
See?
completely destroys their claim. I mean, at one hand,
Exactly.
they're saying, "Oh, we only follow the New Testament," but then they say that, well, but then you agree that in the Old Testament, your God did do this. So like,
Yeah,
you're still harmful. Like, it doesn't matter.
exactly that. Yeah.
Correct.
So, okay,
it was something more.
Am I going to be able to respond here?
Wait, did he
Am I
prescribe
going
or
to
not?
respond? You can respond. You guys can say
I just wanted to engage it.
Now we need to talk about this because you're bringing this up. So Deuteronomy is didactic and exhortational in the laws it's laying down. This is according to mainstream scholarship today. It's not laying down minimal sentences. It's expressing the moral importance. You can read, for example, Deborah Hillers. You can read John Walton on this. You can read, for example,
What evidence? Is the
my
Bible?
goodness, man, my goodness. You can read Kenneth Copeland.
Right.
So that's the thing. This is irrelevant because the marching orders for Christianity are not.
By the way, the people he's quoting are all Christians, Christian apologists.
Deuteronomy, which again is didactic. It's pointing forward to something greater and more important. The marching orders of the new covenant. So no, that is not a law prescribed to Christian. It has nothing to do with the topic. And now you're basically saying, yeah, we think that happens in Islam. There's killing of apostates. Yeah, that's bad for society. Guess what? Christianity doesn't allow it. You just gave me another reason why Christianity is better.
Good. So why does Thomas Aquinas, who's a Christian, obviously he was Catholic, right? He was a saint.
Yeah.
He quotes the book of Hebrews, which presumably I think you take a position. It was written by Paul, but maybe not. Okay. So in Hebrews 10, it says, where is it? Sorry, second. So Paul quotes an Old Testament law that doesn't necessitate that he upholds it or believes it. Okay, in Hebrews 10, he's talking essentially about the heretics and how they should be alive, but he says...
So what's the verse? I want to pull the verse
I
up.
believe it's Hebrews 10, verse 28 and 29.
Hebrews 10, 20, and 29.
Yeah, so he's quoting the Old Testament and saying, or rather he's vaguely quoting it and saying that a heretic or somebody who's quote going against God, that person should be unalived, but their judgment is going to come from God. Now, wait, hold on. Thomas Aquinas, a Catholic theologian, a saint of the church, right? What does he say? In Summa Theologica, he says, St. Thomas Aquinas, on whether heretics ought to be tolerated. This is question 11, article 3. It says, with regard to heretics, 2 points must be observed, one on their own side, the other on the side of the church. On their own side, there is the sin, whereby they deserve not only to be separated from the church by excommunication, but also to be severed from the world by death. For it is a much greater matter to corrupt the faith, which quickens the soul, than to forge money, which supports temporal life. Wherefore, if forgers of money and other evildoers are forthwith condemned, but to the death by the secular authority, etc., etc.
So can we read the verse now?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. So Thomas Aquinas was famous for defending heretics, defending apostasy law, defending executing heretics and kind of like executing apostates. Like if you're going to be Christian and you're going to go against Thomas Aquinas, who's supposed to be your saint, it looks really bad on you. So like you really need to square that circle, Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, basically what Christians are doing, they're just, they can't rationalize the fact that, the Old Testament laws has these things which, frankly, all the things that they have said so far, they're against child marriage. They're against first cousin marriages. Blah blah blah. They're against all these things. These are all secularist values that they have adopted in the West. So the irony of this is that all these things can be found in the Bible, and because they can't rationalize the fact that this is in the Old Testament, that Mosaic law actually promotes this, so they come up with this reason. Oh, we don't follow the Old Testament laws anymore. We follow the New Covenant, the New Covenant of Jesus. But the funny thing is that Jesus never said anything about not following the Mosaic laws. You see, he never said.
He
never.
opposite.
Yeah, in fact, it's not just that, but also he never actually explicitly say, "Oh, I am against child marriage. I am against first cousin marriage." Do you actually see this?
He forgot maybe.
Statements? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's so strange that Christians put things into his mouth when he never said any of those things. But then again, we're talking about a group of people who actually believes that Jesus is God, and even Jesus never said that he's God. So, so these kind of things happen to Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, I think the more he opens his mouth against Islam and make this kind of very strange critique, the more he looks stupid, because like everything he's saying about Christianity exists everything he's saying about Islam exists in Christianity.
Yeah.
So like, it's just your own goal at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
Anyone who has set aside the law of Moses dies without mercy on the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. How much worse punishment do you think will be deserved by the one who has trampled underfoot the Son of God and has profaned the blood of the covenant by which he was sanctified and has outraged the spirit of grace? So this is not prescribed. This is talking about basically what does someone deserve?
Did I not say that? I literally said that.
There we go.
But I told you Aquinas quotes it. Sir, I said Aquinas quotes it. Okay, we're talking about Christianity historically. Okay, and historically, Christians used to allow for the unalivement of heretics. They used to allow for the unalivement of Jews, as I already gave you the references for. You're not engaging with that.
So
you're literally just saying, sir.
Wait, so I'll comment on that. So wait.
That's exactly what I said. I mean, like, if you're going to argue that, New Testament doesn't allow this, you need to explain why historically it was allowed by Christians.
Yeah, exactly
I'll let you respond to what you said.
You can jump in, right? So what we're doing is that we're looking at a period sample size, right? For example, looking at like 1998 to like 2010, right? And we're taking that sample size and we're saying, hey, based upon that, Christianity yields the better results, but why can't we extend the sample size back? Why can't we do that?
Great, absolutely. I want to do that.
If we do take that back, would you agree that we can find historical instances where the Jews are oppressed by the Christians?
Yes, I never denied that. This is how you answer questions. You see how I'm doing? I say yes, and then I expound. You should try that sometime.
Right. So if we do take the sample size back, we see.
Oh, so by the way, brother, doctor says, inspiring philosophy is so annoying. Yeah, I mean, like, he's beyond just now. By the way, did you see that video he made recently where he's mocking Islam and saying that Islam has a bad peace meeting or something like that? I made a skit,
I've not
So he's
seen
following.
that. I've not seen that. So what did he say?
I didn't watch it. Like, basically, he's seems like he's making this kind of docu, like mockumentary against Islam, following in the footsteps of David Wood.
Or something like David's. What was David's series? I don't remember the name, but he did something like this, right?
Yeah. So he's doing that, and and here he's making such stupid arguments. Like he literally have no logical points against them. So basically, he first points out that Christianity doesn't allow all these things. Then they point out that no, actually Christianity does allow. They literally give him references, and now he's changing his argument to but like that was the New Testament. Sorry, that's the Old Testament. That wasn't a new argument. Like he changed his argument.
Now the new, exactly. He's not actually denying that these things happen. You see.
Yet he will pretend like this doesn't exist at all. But when he's pressed, he changes his argument. Look at how dishonest this guy is.
Very, very
dishonest. This is in logic, by the way, this kind of dishonesty is known as shifting the goalpost. So imagine you're arguing with someone, and then they have one point. They say, I'm holding to this point. This is the truth. Then when you press him on it, he changes his position and say, oh, no, but that's not my position. This is my position. But you just change your position. You can do that. you know?
Exactly that. Yeah.
This is dishonesty at the highest form.
Yeah.
This means that you don't actually care what your position is. You're not actually debating a position. You're just changing whenever you get caught. You're going to change.
You're just shifting the goalpost, right? That's what he's doing. Yeah.
Shifting the goalpost.
Yeah.
That Christianity has also contributed injustice.
Yeah.
Christianity has
what is the topic? Brian, could you please remind us of the topic?
Right, I
would like Brian to remind us of the topic.
No, I understand that.
Right.
And what's worse, he's acting like, he's always had this position, like he's consistent. But he's been inconsistent throughout the debate.
No, Not surprised.
I don't know
I understand
why
that.
is the sample size? Why is the sample size from modern day, right? Specifically looking at a recent period.
Brian, what's the topic?
So
Let
can
him
you address that or
let him
not?
finish it, please.
Yeah. So we're saying that if we take back the sample size, would we see better results from Islam or Christianity? Right.
Brian, what's the topic?
Is Christianity better for society than Islam?
Thank you.
And
There
how are
we
we
go.
going to observe that? Wait, how are we going to
How
observe that?
do we-
Can we observe it
Based on what you said,
historically? Can we talk
the
about
historical development of what is
Right.
producing better society.
Right.
Right now, the West has clearly produced better society.
Wait, the West is only
My
Christianity?
goodness, man.
Right now, this
West. Which part of the West is only Christian? Please enlighten us.
The West.
Which
The
part of the
West.
West rules by Christian teachings only? I wonder where that is. Where is that, bro?
For I have
Where
no
only,
idea.
Only church rules.
I have absolutely no idea where he's getting these crazy ideas from. there's no Christian nation practicing Christian rules in the West. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
particular area
All right,
only.
so
Crazy.
what,
Just
is
in this
society,
period.
what is Christianity produce? Less child marriage, less oppression. Okay, that is not even up for debate.
Like none of these Western countries are Christian countries abiding by Christian laws. Like that's a false analogy.
Okay?
Yeah,
That has
it
actually
is.
been demonstrated by models by Jonathan Fox, Grimm and Finke in their book, The Price of Freedom Denied. It has also produced less cousin marriage, which is also bad for humanity. So yes, and it's also
Again, like cousin marriage is allowed in Christianity, so that has nothing to do with Christianity. If anything, I could argue that, or maybe atheism, an atheist could argue, maybe atheism is causing this because it's secular, right? These countries are secular,
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
on secular founding fathers who were mostly atheists, right? Or
Yeah.
atheists or
Yeah.
liberals. So
Yeah.
they could argue that liberalism is causing this. So like none of
Yes.
this argument, like every argument he makes is an argument for liberalism and secularism, not an argument for Christianity.
Yeah. Exactly that.
produce better rights where we're not killing people for abandoning their religion because that's what Islam teaches. So all these things, yes, Islam is producing far worse societies. This is enough for debate. We can just look at all the facts and the numbers don't lie.
Yeah. So we want to like take this a bit forward, right? Because we also want to be able to critique your.
So that's also a lie because if you look at the Ottoman Empire, for example, when Ottoman Empire was the most powerful empire on the planet, when Mehmed the
Yeah.
Conqueror, when he kind of invented this kind of like cannons and completely
Yeah.
blasted the Constantine's city of Constantine, like
Yeah.
at that point, who was the superior country? Like who was the superior empire?
Yeah.
It was Ottomans, right? So
Exactly.
so you just like look at basic history and you're proven false. Like you don't even have to like do chat GPT. Like you just look at basic history and you're proven false.
Yeah.
Like who
Yeah.
invented mathematics? Al-Khwarizmi. Right. So like
Yes.
it takes like 5 seconds to refute you. So
Yeah.
if you're arguing that, Islam created the worst societies, and West is the best, but West took ideas from the Islamic world to build their weapons. Like for example, the cannons later led to like missiles and other kind of like modern weapons they have. And then
Yeah.
the inventions of Al-Khwarizmi later led to other things, right?
Exactly that.
Computers and planes, etc., etc. So like everything that you have because of the Islamic Empire. So if Islamic empires was like producing worse societies, how did they produce these things which is causing your society to flourish? Like it doesn't follow.
Yeah.
So clearly your own example debunks you. But the doctor says, I'm so sick of people who hate Islam, always bring up righteousness. It's so boring to come up with a new argument. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the reason they do this, and they know that this is not a sound argument, by the way. The reason they do this is because of rhetoric, right? It's a good
Yeah.
rhetoric. Like, it's a good rhetoric to say, oh, look at these people. They allow kind of like child marriage and whatnot.
Yeah, it's just
Despite the fact-
emotionalism. Yeah, it's just based on emotions. Yeah.
Yeah,
Appeal to
despite the
emotion.
fact their own religion allowed this for thousands of years.
Yeah.
I mean, their Catholic Church allowed it, right? So like Jesus never objected to it. Like they know full well these things, but they will not say
Yeah.
that. They just want their core audience, or Christian audience, to stay loyal on their side. They just don't want them to leave. So they're saying,
course.
oh, but these people are evil because they follow this or do that. It's just rhetoric. If you look at the argument, actual argument, they don't have any sound argument.
Yeah, they don't.
Perception of what a good society is. Now, when it comes to Christianity or Western Christianity, you would admit that, for example, things like alcohol consumption is allowed. Now, when it comes to alcohol consumption, we see that, for example, 66% of domestic abuse cases are heavily impacted and influenced by alcohol consumption. So the question is very simple. If I have a society A, where there is no alcohol consumption, right, and it's completely forbidden, not allowed, and we have society B where it is allowed, which one would yield a better result insofar as domestic abuse, so on and so forth?
So you're saying, let me make it simple. You're saying if a society is producing less domestic abuse, it's better.
Of course.
Okay. Beautiful. There's a great study.
I just point out alcohol consumption.
Okay, there's a great study called Intimate Partner Violence in Muslim Communities, showing that yes, there is more intimate partner violence in Muslim communities. So even with alcohol, you guys are still having more abuse of women, psychological, physical,
There's a
sexual, emotional abuse in your societies. So
Right.
even on that point,
So-
this works against you.
So okay, no, again, the example, the question I asked was specific regarding which society.
That's a lie, by the
what
way.
what studies is he talking about? I have never
That's a
come
lie.
across it.
For example,
Yeah.
if you look
Yeah.
at, by the way, I came prepared. I came
Oh,
prepared.
okay.
I have all
Alright.
the studies here. Don't worry, bro.
Okay.
So UK actually has more domestic abuse. And which religion? What is the prominent religion in UK, by the way? For example,
Christianity.
UK. Yeah. According to research, let me see if let me share this actually. Let me share this
Okay.
since I have it here anyway.
Yeah.
Let me destroy and humiliate this loser right here, right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me share this. This is a research paper that came out in a peer-reviewed journal about domestic abuse in England and Wales. And
Yeah.
overview. And so, according to this this paper,
Yeah.
the crime survey for England and Wales estimated that approximately 3.8 million people aged 16 and over experienced domestic abuse. Survey
Okay,
year ending
okay.
March. An estimated 2.2 million females and 1.5 million males experience domestic abuse. This number is important. 2.2 million females. Now let's look at the numbers of Saudi Arabia, for example.
Mhm.
Let's see how many domestic abuse they have. Share this. Because we'll expose him.
Right.
So we have 2.2 million, right?
Okay.
This is for last year. Yeah, domestic abuse last year. Share this. Your screen. Yeah, Saudi Arabia. This number is from Saudi Arabia. By the way, I'm not saying this is good, by the way. This is also bad. But just to give you guys some perspective. The number of reported harassment cases against women in juvenile in Saudi Arabia has reached 2,000 in 1 year. 2,000. 2,000.
2000. Yeah.
Compare that with what's happening in the UK, where it's 2.2 million. 2.2 million.
Yeah. So I think it's
Yeah.
quite obvious which is bad and which is less bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
2.2
both are
million.
bad. I mean, let's be honest, both are bad, but I think we can see which is less bad and which is more bad. Okay.
Actually, let me ask, kind of like, what do you call it? The Google's AI. What is
Yeah.
1,000 of like 2 million?
Yeah. Right.
1,000 of 2 million in percentage. 0.05%. 0.05%.
My God.
Let me
Okay.
share this.
it's
So
super low then.
0.05%. That's the
Super
ratio
low.
we're talking about. 0.05% here.
Okay. All right.
0.05%. So he says that
He crucified
that-
himself.
he says that Muslim world has more domestic violence, but just one country's example shows it's 0.05%.
Oh, the
And by
brother
the way,
has
that's
to go
not
now.
been logically possible. If you look at the Muslim world, at least if you majority
I
look
think-
at the Muslim world, majority
Yeah,
of people,
but-
non-Muslims, outnumber
Yeah.
Muslims in terms of like this kind of
Yes.
like
Yeah.
acts anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, brother, doctor says I have to go now. My dad.
Yeah.
Goodbye, brothers.
Yeah.
With my
Thank
dad.
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure,
Thank you
bro,
for
no
coming.
worries, no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah. You can
Thanks for
rewatch
coming,
this stream later, right? After you come back.
Yeah, Of course, of course.
Mm.
So yeah, he just crucified himself. This guy's dumb. This guy's dumb.
He's
so dumb.
bringing statistics, but these statistics go against him. So funny.
Yeah.
One that doesn't have alcohol consumption and one that does.
Depends on how much abuse it causes.
Okay, beautiful.
It's about the
So,
effects.
no, if one causes a high domestic abuse due to alcohol, it would be worse, right?
Wait, so if it causes more.
Right.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't.
No. Again, to be very clear, what I'm saying is if we have a society where there is alcohol consumption that would lead to domestic abuse, and we have a society that does have alcohol
By the way, another thing, he actually lied about the research paper. This is also something I wrote down. Hold on, let me show this.
Okay. All right.
So this is the research paper he's quoting, right?
Okay.
Let me share this.
All right.
He's quoting this research paper. I'm gonna
Okay.
expose him again. I came
All
prepared, guys. I already wrote this down. Don't worry. Let me quote.
Okay.
Let me show SagePub.
Yeah.
Let me share this. Sorry. Hold on, let me share this screen. So this is the paper he's quoting.
Yeah.
This is the paper he's quoting. Oh, sorry.
Muslim women's experiences of domestic violence and abuse.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is the one. This is the one he's quoting, right?
Right.
So so he says that this research paper proves that there are
Yeah.
more domestic abuse in Muslim societies, but the paper actually says the opposite. So let me share, let me find the quotation. Yeah. Here it is. Domestic violence and abuse (DVA) is a form of interpersonal violence perpetrated by intimate partners or family members. It includes physical, sexual, psychological, emotional, and economic abuse, as well as coercive and controlling behaviors. DVA is associated with severe physical, psychological, social, and economic consequences for the victims. Muslim women, like women from all countries, experience DVA in its various forms. However, they may experience additional barriers when seeking support. Nowhere is it saying that Muslim women face abuse more than non-Muslim women. It's saying that all women suffered from this. However, what they're saying, the research paper is saying, is that in many cases, Muslim women often has to face barriers, additional barriers, in terms of seeking help compared to non-Muslim. Like that's their argument. And by the way, this has nothing to do with Islam. you know, so even the paper he cites, he's lying about it. Brother, are the keys
This idiot is attacking me. Yeah, he's talking about the 2020 case, which is
I'm gonna
already.
your comment.
Yeah. Just
And
delete the idiot. I think this has been resolved like goodness knows how many times I need to explain it.
Sorry about that. I didn't notice.
Nah, it's okay. Nah, it's okay. Yeah. There will be idiots like that coming on anyway. So to state it briefly, I've written a book where I exposed the Malaysian police for the arrest that happened 6 years ago, by the way. You idiot. Okay. I don't know why you're talking about a case that happened in 2020. It's already 2026 and I'm still not in jail. So yeah, it's obvious that the arrest was false on false pretenses. So I don't think I need to explain myself, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get back to the debate.
Yeah, sure.
So as you guys can see, this guy's a liar. Like when he's quoting things, he's lying. He's just lying. He's misquoting it. He says the paper claims that there are more domestic abuse in Muslim societies. It doesn't claim that. And then he's saying that there are more domestic abuse in Muslim societies. And I showed evidence that no, that's not the case. Like the ratio is 0.05%, 0.05%. Like that's the ratio of how much violence there is in the Muslim world compared to the UK non-Muslim world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like this guy's a liar.
Consumption that doesn't lead to domestic abuse, which will be better?
The one that has less abuse.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so which is less?
So again, so Islam as a religion does allow alcohol consumption, which doesn't contribute to the mass domestic abuse that's due to alcoholism that's found within the West.
It's causing more abuse regardless. This is what the research shows.
A society with alcohol.
No. I let you talk for a little while there. Your whole thing was like, we're going to go on. The society that's better is the one that is causing less abuse.
And he keeps lying. He shouts over them and keeps lying. This guy is shameless.
The research shows, multiple reviews have found that it is actually Muslim communities produce.
And this is, I think this has got to be some kind of tactic, right? Where basically they know they're lying. They have to know they're lying.
But by the way, can you give me that link, that link to the research paper? I want to check it out too. I think it's an interesting avenue to look at. Yeah, I mean, why he's inflating the numbers, isn't he?
Yep.
Okay.
Not just inflating the number. He's lying about the paper as a whole. I mean, like, should I share it on the private chat?
All right, sure.
I mean, I went through it. I went through the whole thing.
Okay.
And he's lying. And later on, he will quote a section of the paper to claim that, it is saying what he's claiming. It doesn't, even in the quotation. But then he completely ignores other parts that clearly goes against him. Right?
Yeah.
He's
a very old Christian tactic. Okay. It's not just him.
Don't worry, I came prepared, guys.
Yeah.
I know I was late with the stream, but I already prepared all this. right? So
Okay.
I shared it with you, inshallah. Check it
Yeah,
out.
I'm downloading it now, so I'll read it later offline. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. It's an
So
open
basically,
paper.
the whole
Okay.
paper's argument is not that there are more domestic abuse in Muslim countries. What they're arguing is that sometimes Muslim women face more social, kind of like cultural barriers in terms of
Yeah.
seeking help. Like that's the whole point.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's continue.
Seeing more
Yeah.
abuse of
What's
their
the sample
women.
size?
What's the sample size? It's been done in like, I can pull it up right here if you want. I can pull it up.
Because yeah, go ahead. Put it up. Yeah.
So I told you the name of the paper, Intimate Partner Violence in Muslim.
Oh no, he did not like that. Now he's been questioned on this. He's nervous. He's sweating, bro.
Yeah. He's quoting journal articles, but he can't cite them properly. Okay, that just
And by the way, that's another thing. When it comes to citing research paper, and this there's a reason why I completely dislike this type of approach, where
Yeah.
the opponent will just cite papers without
Yeah.
without like allowing for any type of kind of like fact checking and whatnot.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if there's like some kind of fact checking panel or who was doing fact checking for them,
Yeah. Yeah.
they could hold him account to this, right? Because
No, he's purposely doing this because he knows that the people on the panel, the Muslims on the panel, will not have easy access to this paper, or even if they do, they don't know which paper to look for. So he's just citing this obscure paper out of nowhere, and then he uses the points within it without giving, at the very least he could have just like tell the audience or the panel in advance what citations he's going to use or whatever, so that they can check the evidence for
It's
themselves.
another thing, by the way. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
in like an academic debate, you have to let your
Yeah.
opponents know.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the paper I'm using. Check it out for
Yeah.
yourself, or like
Yeah.
some of these.
I mean, it's fine to use article journals. I'm using the article journals for my book against in support of, in defense of the Rohingya too. But citing papers, I think, is more suited for writing academic papers, or if you're writing a book, then yes, because you can actually insert the actual citation, the quotation, and then you can give the link or the reference, the authors and so on. But in a debate like this, in a dialogue like this, how are you going to do that on the spot? Doesn't
Also,
make any
the
sense.
audience can simply read the paper, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
However, here he's just quoting it and he's misquoting it. He's misquoting it. He's lying about it.
Yeah. So this is actually this is a fallacy too. It's a logical fallacy or appeal to authority, right?
Yeah.
In a
And
way.
another thing, like, by the way, the point that the brother Muslim apologetic brought up.
Yeah.
So, which is that what is the sample size? It's important because most of the cases, the sample size is like 100 people, 100 people, 50 people, against millions and millions of people. So obviously that's not accurate. It's not going to be accurate, right? So, but still, like obviously in terms of social science, we go by this kind of percentage and estimates. But he's acting as though this is objective fact, right? It's not. It's an estimate.
Yeah. It's an estimate only. Yeah.
But
It's not,
then he's still wrong with his estimate.
So that goes to show how much of a loser he is.
Anyway, let's continue, Shalom.
Yeah.
What's the time and the location as well?
So they looked at multiple countries. So that's important. So they were not just looking at one. They looked at several over several years, for example.
Right.
So this was several studies here. So hold on, let me pull this up here. The first one is intimate partner violence in Muslim communities. Okay. The study. There's like multiple studies authors. So like Bonita Sharma, for example. Kenneth Flagland. The second paper is Muslim women experience of domestic violence and abuse, a meta-ethnography of global evidence. And they specifically cite religious motivations coming from Islam.
What is the religion? Go ahead, prove it.
What are you talking about?
So when it's not religious motivation, what is?
So there's another paper. You want the link to that as well?
Yeah, sure. Please do share it. Yeah.
All right. Let me share this with you.
Yeah.
This also doesn't support his case, by the way. I checked both of them.
Oh my God, this guy. I'm actually thinking of writing. Maybe I should write a paper rebutting this guy's nonsense and publish it on my website. I'm thinking of doing that.
Yeah, you can do that. By the way, later on in the debate, he's gonna quote a portion of it. I'm gonna show you guys how he's lying about that quotation because he ignores other parts of the quotation.
Right. Let's do that.
Let's continue, inshallah.
The religious motivation reporting.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Here. So cultural beliefs often influence Islamic values within a society.
Cultural? Okay. And we said religious.
Let me read from the paper. Okay, I'm reading from the Muslim Women Experience of Domestic Violence and Abuse on Meta-ethnography. Okay, cultural belief often.
So he's reading from the second paper. I'm gonna read from that as well.
Okay.
We'll see what he actually says.
Muslim
Listen.
intimate.
Influence Islamic values within society. These religious values and beliefs were subject to the interpretation and guidance of religious leaders. Sharia law plays a role in shaping the behavior of many individuals within a
Can you
community.
give the evidence? with
My
that?
goodness, he asked me to read a quote. I'm reading the quote.
I'm asking something very specific here. What is
Sharia law
what is the
dictated.
evidence?
Sharia law dictated that women must be obedient to their husbands. Men felt empowered to punish their wives if they perceived them as disobedient. Then it goes on to say it is evident that religious beliefs were a strong influence on women's acceptance of DVA and reluctant to leave and seek help.
Beautiful. So again, regarding this specific topic, now let's quote the Sharia. The Messenger himself, authentic hadith, says those.
Wait, do you acknowledge this shows this?
Yeah, I'm responding to it.
So you acknowledge this shows there's more violence.
I
There's
know
more violence.
that's what she says. I'm responding to the
That's not what he
paper.
even said. It said that the effect of them not wanting to leave is due to
It's evident that religion was a strong influence on women's acceptance of DVA.
right,
So
but it's not them actually committing the act. It's just the women.
Exactly.
the prior quote shows that
But
yes,
them
they
actually
are.
committing the act was due to
Do
culture.
I need to read the other one
Yeah,
too?
it
Yeah.
says culture in the first sentence.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're doing. You're just misquoting.
No. It shows that there's more violence in there, and the women are also
Can
accepting.
you just read the first sentence again?
Yeah, because of culture.
Yeah, culture beliefs often influence Islamic values.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay, so this goes back.
I'm not saying it's
but
just
hold on,
Islamic.
hold on.
That's
I
a part of
know.
it. They do say religious as well.
Okay, so if it's not a
Culture.
sufficient.
So let's actually read what he's reading because it doesn't say what he's
Yeah.
saying.
I'm looking at the paper right now. It actually admits that the study actually admits that there are limitations to the conclusion. So
Yeah.
the guy,
Hold on.
the
Let
guy
me
kind.
let me actually read the part he's reading, and I'll show you
Okay,
how he's
okay,
deceiving his
go ahead.
audience.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Let me share this. Here we go. Find the
Mhm.
quotation.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So, if you read the abstract, it says that Muslim women are now more prone to more domestic abuse rather than non-Muslim women. So basically, they're not saying that Muslim societies face more domestic abuse. However, the parts he's quoting is this one.
Yeah.
Let me share this. There we go. Let me share this.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So this is the part he's quoting. The intersection of culture and religion was a prominent feature with families in the included studies. Cultural beliefs often influence Islamic values within society. These religious values and beliefs were subject to the interpretation and guidance of religious leaders. Sharia law plays a role in shaping the behavior, but this is a portion he read. Sharia law plays a role in shaping the behavior of many individuals within the community. Sharia law dictated that women must be obedient to their husband. Men felt empowered to punish their wives if they perceived them as disobedient. So, this is the quotation of people who basically think that domestic abuse is justified, right? How do I know this? Because all you need to do is read the next section, right? So this is the section he completely omitted, didn't read. So let's read this. Highlight this. Here we go. So as you guys can see, so let me read this. Women who sought to maintain a traditional interpretation of Islam considered religion a protective shield. Protective shield.
Sure.
Right.
There you go. There you
They
go.
believed that their partners would not subject them to abuse if they were religious, as Islam was seen as a religion of equality and peace that did not endorse DVA.
Yeah, domestic.
Some
violence and
participants
abuse.
further highlighted that the misinterpretation of religious doctrine contributed to gender equality and in some instance justified DVA. So here, basically what the paper author is saying is that many women who maintain the traditional understanding of Islam do not think that Islam is contributing to this, right?
Yeah.
Same way, what the author is also saying is that people who think that domestic abuse is justified, they think Sharia law is dictating that a woman must be obedient to the husband. Men felt empowered to punish them, right? However, that's not the position of all women. So basically, what
Yeah.
the paper is doing is it's quoting women who went to the seeking help scholarly
Yeah.
facility,
Yeah. Exactly
and
that.
basically they're talking about their experiences. And some women think that like some of the author is basically interpreting that some of them think that this is justified by religion, some of them think it is not, right? And
Yeah.
he purposefully did not read this section.
Mm.
So he completely ignored this part. He's cherry picking. He's cherry picking.
Mhm.
And by the way, none of this has anything to do with Sharia law or Islam, because they're
Yeah.
talking about culture. Like even if
Yeah.
you go with like his first
Yeah.
section, which by the way completely
Yeah.
out of context,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's talking about these studies, specific studies. So some studies argue that this is because of religion. Other studies argue that no, actually this is nothing to do with religion.
Yeah.
Right? That's what he's saying. So he's quoting the studies. He's that's saying this, and he's quoting the studies that's not saying this. Right? And he lies about this. He acts as if like the author himself is saying this, when he's just quoting opinions, different opinions about
Yeah.
this matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so he clearly lies about this. Also, even if I
Unsurprising.
go with that kind of like out of context cherry pick version, it still doesn't help him because this has nothing to do with Islam.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to it. All right, you wanna add something, bro?
Nah, I don't think so. I think you pretty much covered everything. Yeah, let's just continue with the.
Yeah,
Yes.
inshallah, let's go.
Cause, then you can't attribute the actual cause to Islam.
Yes, I can.
You can't. It's not a sufficient cause. Yeah. Okay,
Because you
so
understand
that's
how sociology
happening. So
works.
this is
Hold on, you don't understand how sociology works.
Hold on. You
Multiple
don't
factors.
understand how
There's cultural,
multiple
religious.
differences
There's poverty as well. But
Right.
Islam is also one of the factors.
Right,
According to
okay,
study.
that is not a sufficient cause. That's the point. If it was a sufficient cause, then Islam would be the only and key factor of it.
No, that's never
what sufficient cause is.
No, that does
so
not make
is
sense at all.
So is Islam a sufficient cause?
Islam is a factor that leads to
I
violence.
asked you, is it a sufficient cause?
Why is it relevant to the study?
No, it is
No, it's
really
not.
not. I'm asking you, is it a sufficient cause to
My
say that
goodness.
Islam allows for domestic
Islam
abuse
is a motivating
to any society?
factor that leads to more violence according to these studies.
You don't want
Can
to
you answer a
engage.
question?
You don't want to engage.
By the way, did you notice how he changed his argument? That was not his position
Yeah.
before. He
Yeah.
was arguing that Islam is the thing that's causing this and making
Yeah.
societies worse. Now now that she's caught him on this, then
Yeah.
are you saying this is a
Without,
sufficient
without,
cause?
without,
All
no,
of a sudden he changes his
yeah, and kudos to the sister. Without reading the paper, she could call him out on it. She didn't even
Yeah.
read the paper, right? She didn't even know what paper it is, and yet she caught him in a lie. So
Yeah.
kudos to her. She's very sharp.
Yeah, because before he was saying that, oh yeah, this is Islam is causing this, but now says no, it's not a contributing factor.
What is the question?
So which one is it?
It's not following what I'm actually saying. You're asking something irrelevant to my point.
Yeah, let's just
Because I asked it before, you didn't address it before either.
Ask the
Okay.
question, and then we'll get a clear answer.
Is Islam a sufficient cause as it pertains to this type of violence towards women?
Okay, what do you mean by sufficient cause?
Sufficient cause meaning that it's the only thing which is necessary, such that we would observe it to occur in every single Islamic society.
That is
it the
irrelevant.
case?
No, that's
I didn't
irrelevant
ask
to
you
my
if it's
point.
irrelevant. I asked
He said
you-
no.
Oh,
I said no.
Okay, good.
See how I answered?
Okay, you finally answered the question.
No, it is irrelevant.
Good. So no, it's not no, it's irrelevant. Is it a yes or no? Okay.
It is not because you don't understand how
I
sociology
asked him if
works.
it's irrelevant.
Let me
I
explain how
asked him, is it
sociology
the
works.
case that it is or isn't?
Let me
Now
explain how
you think he's not
sociology
answering the question.
Let me explain how
Follow the
sociology
God
works.
So he can answer simple questions.
Yeah.
That's funny because in many cases when people doesn't answer his question, he gets mad. But now he refuses to answer questions.
I'm surprised that he didn't say yes though. If he said yes, then it would be easier to to crucify him.
Right now. Do you want the yes or no?
Okay, let me explain how sociology works.
I don't need
You want to go on logic, yes or no?
Yeah, we want logic. You want to call logic like yes or no?
Oh my god.
I minored in
So that
sociology.
you,
I want you to
you minor in sociology.
Yes.
So that you understand that when a study is performed, they have to look at multiple factors.
Look at this guy.
Oh
So
my
he's
God.
he's basically lecturing her, someone who's studying sociology. By the way, someone who has no background in sociology. Like this guy is an editor. Like he studied like video editing. Like that's the subject he studied.
Huh? He did? I don't know what his
Yeah.
education background is.
Yeah, he has no qualification on this. Like he's not a
Oh, really?
sociologist. He didn't study this.
What
So
what
he's just
do
Googling.
you know what is IP's qualifications academically?
Yeah, he studied video editing.
My
And
God.
he can't even make
okay.
good videos, by the way, on his
And
channel.
he calls himself inspiring philosophy. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
He didn't study philosophy. He
What the
studied
frack?
like this video editing.
I thought he studied philosophy.
And he
that's why
used to
called
work on
himself
like
inspiring.
some kind of like video editing firm or something.
Oh my
Security firm.
God.
He used to edit
Really?
security.
Seriously? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you
Maybe
can
he
look it
doesn't-
up. By the way. It's there's an interview of him on like
Oh,
on
I
some
didn't.
channel.
I didn't know about that. I mean, I never bothered to find out more about him. but I did assume that he had a background in philosophy, which is why he called himself
No,
inspiring
bro.
philosophy.
No, he has no background in philosophy.
My
He
God.
studied
Okay.
editing, and he used to work at like this kind of like security firm, and he used to edit this kind of like security camera footage. That's what he used to do, and he used to study
What the
Christianity
frack?
after.
What the frack? What? That's
I know. This guy's a fraud all the way around. Like he acts like he's this authority who studied all these topics and debates these kind of like PhD people. But in reality, he has no background on this. He didn't study philosophy. He didn't study Christianity even academically. And here he is debating Christianity and debating philosophy, acting as if like he knows what he's talking about. He also didn't study sociology.
Oh, wait a minute. I just found some background on him. He actually has a master's degree in philosophy from the University of Arizona. Yeah. His undergrad degree was what you said, film and video editing. But then he also has a master's in philosophy from University of Arizona. But I'm wondering, how the hell are you able to do masters in philosophy if you don't have a background in philosophy in the degree level?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do that. Usually you can't do that. Yeah. Usually you can't.
Because
Usually you can't
in the
just jump.
interview, he didn't mention this that
Yeah.
he studied philosophy.
Yeah,
Right,
but
so-
here he says that he has an MA. I don't know whether he really has an MA though. I mean, this is just from Google search, so it could be falsified. Okay, like the other dude, David Wood, it's the same thing. I mean, he claims to have a doctorate. It is true that he has a doctorate in
Can
philosophy,
you check
but
the university? I bet it's like some kind of Christian institution.
it is.
I
It
bet-
is. By the way, I was just getting to that. He got his PhD from Fordham University. So Fordham University is a Christian university, and he doesn't even say whether he has a degree or, I mean, he doesn't even has a, because in order to get a degree, a degree, a doctor of
Master's.
philosophy, right, you need to get a master's first. But he doesn't have a master's in philosophy. He just jumps straight from degree right up to
Oh,
doctorate.
bro, we're digging
very
into
odd.
some can of worms
Yeah.
here.
It's very. I mean,
We need to look
I've
into
always
this.
been. I've always been suspicious of
It's
his,
very sus.
so-called doctorate. Yeah, it's very suspicious. His doctorate, his so-called doctorate, is very suspicious. How could you get a doctorate of philosophy when you don't even have a master's in philosophy in the first place? You see.
Also,
And then
like-
this guy, this guy here on your screen here, he allegedly has a master's in philosophy, but then his degree level has nothing to do with philosophy, which is very odd. Very
By the way, like if someone actually studied philosophy, they would be
Yeah.
like professor or something like that, right? Or they'll be writing papers. They would not be debating on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Like the
Or
loser,
working at a video editor.
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly. He won't be a full-time
Be fun.
YouTuber like that other
Yeah.
that other idiot. You see, so he claims to have a doctorate in philosophy. I mean, he should be lecturing at universities. He should be writing books. He should be writing article journals. But this guy is on YouTube, dissing Islam all the way with a pussy. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all he does. So you do wonder what his actual qualifications
anyway,
are.
So he didn't study sociology, by the way. That's the main point. He didn't study sociology.
Definitely not.
He's-
Definitely not.
He studied
I'm
sociology. and
I'm
he's
still
lecturing
one.
her
I'm
about
still.
how
I'm still.
sociology works.
I'm actually still questioning how the hell he got a master's degree in philosophy from the University of Arizona when he doesn't even have his degree is not even.
That's
philosophy.
something we gotta investigate, but that's for
Yeah,
another
yeah.
video.
Okay, I guess so. Yeah,
This guy's
yeah.
very sus, man. This guy's very sus.
It's so
Anyway, let's
weird. I
continue.
mean, yeah, it's so weird, man.
Exactly.
Great,
So what I'm asking you, what I'm asking you, and you don't want to engage with, is I'm asking you, is Islam sufficient on its own to produce these results? Yes or no?
Never in sociology will that be the answer.
Oh my God. Okay,
Never.
so is it
I
the
said
case,
no.
yes or no?
Perfect. I said no.
She said
That's
no.
not how sociology
Okay,
works.
good.
You understand? You
So
said you
I'm
matter. You should know how this
asking you-
works. Let's go back to his point. He said the society that produces more abuse.
This is not his original argument. His original argument is that Islam produces this. Now he's saying actually no, it's contributing to this. That's not the same thing. Because the debate topic is in that which religion is contributing to possible social harm. The topic is which is causing social harm. And we know, by the way, that Christianity causes genocide. We know this because the biblical God literally commands his followers to do this. Where in Islam, there's nothing like that. So obviously, objectively, Christianity is more harmful. But anyway, let's continue.
Okay.
Is going to have worse. Is going to be worse. I bring in studies like intimate partner violence in Muslim communities. To quote, in general, these studies found high prevalent levels of IPV among Muslims living in the U.S. and globally. Consistent with IPV research in general, verbal and psychological abuse was found most prevalent, followed by physical, sexual, and fatal. Individual, family, and interlocking social problems, traditional beliefs, and spirituality, immigration-related stressors were associated. There. See, I didn't say it's the only thing. Okay. With
So
IPV
it's not
studies,
getting to my question.
studies on beliefs of IPV found that they tended to be higher leniency and justification of abuse in Muslim cultures than is the Western norm. So by
Doesn't
that
address my
logic,
question.
hold up. Back to that logic. By that logic, you guys have accidentally conceded that Muslim societies are worse because there's more abuse according to the data.
Doesn't address my question. Okay. My
Because all of a
question,
sudden you're-
because we're
questions are-
talking about Islam. Okay, we're talking about Islam.
That's a lie. Like that quotation doesn't exist anywhere in the paper, where it says that there are more domestic abuse in Muslim societies or Muslim women than non-Muslim women. That's just a lie.
Okay.
You want to add something, Aki?
No, let's continue. I think nothing new there.
What are you typing there?
No, I'm actually researching on Mike Jones's.
We can do that later.
Mysterious
Okay, let's focus on the.
I'm just asking some questions to Gemini. How the hell is he able to get master's degree in philosophy? Yeah. No,
So,
let's go
by
on.
the way-
Let's continue. Yeah.
By the way, his whole point about Islam contributing to this, Islam has nothing to do with this, because Islam doesn't say you can abuse women in your perform.
Yeah.
And the paper is not saying that either. It's saying that it has like a some women thinks that this is some papers think that this is being caused by that. Some other papers don't. So it's not
Right.
saying that Islam is causing this. Nowhere does it say that.
Right. Okay.
What it does say is that there is one section where it says that it is evident that religious belief were a strong influence on women's acceptance of DVA, not that it causes DVA. Right? Let me actually
Okay.
let me show you guys the quotation. A moment. Give me a moment. Sorry about that. You want to add something, Aki?
No, nothing much to add.
Here we go. So let me share the quotation about what it actually says in his conclusion. And I'm going to show you guys how he's lying. All right, here we go. Let me share this. Share screen. Oh, sorry. Here we go. As you guys can see, this is their I believe this is their conclusion.
Right.
So our ecological analysis of help seeking highlights similarities with extent studies on non-Muslim women's help seeking behavior, as the most common form was to seek informal help via family and friends. However, many studies in the current review reported negative response, including shaming, victim blaming, anger, indifference, engagement, and isolation from the family, serving to deter victims, survivors from future help seeking. So basically what he's saying here is that according to some studies, in regards to non-Muslim women, basically what they saw is that they were oftentimes stopped by family and friends, which is the same as what happens with Muslim women, basically.
Okay.
No, sorry. What they saw is that non-Muslim women will basically ask their family and friends. However, when it comes to Muslim women, oftentimes they see this kind of like discouragement to seek help, which, by the way, has nothing to do with Islam. And being a dutiful wife in the face of adversity, the virtue leading many women to refrain from discussing violence they endured. It is evident that religious belief were a strong influence on women's acceptance and reluctance to help, to live and seek help. Right? Religious belief were a strong influence on women's acceptance of DVA, which means that what they're saying is that their version of religious belief were a strong influence on women's acceptance of DVA and reluctance to seek help.
Right.
So basically what they're saying is that for some women, their religious belief deters them from seeking help, not that their religious belief causes this kind of like domestic abuse.
Yeah.
So that's not the point. And the overall kind of like general idea from this paper is that it is kind of like anti-Islamic. It is taking anti-Islamic position, but it's not saying what Michael just explained. It's not saying
Yeah.
that it's causing it, because it quotes other papers that clearly say that religion has nothing to do with this, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
according to some other research, which is this one here, Hassan Phillips 2003 and Norton et al. 2003, they're claiming that it's evident that religious belief for a strong influence, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's opinion of some researchers, not all researchers, right?
Mhm.
So this is again like this is a straw man, because that's not what they're saying.
Yeah.
The critical finding highlights the specialty of Muslim women's experience by eliminating an effective help-seeking barrier at the interpersonal level. Anyway, but the objective facts here is that if you look at most of Muslim society, they have less domestic violence compared, at least when it comes to Saudi Arabia, less domestic violence compared to
Compared to other
like-
societies. Yeah.
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 So he's basically cherry picking the study. So
Yeah.
the study basically what he's doing is doing this kind of meta analysis of like
No, he
quoting-
frankly his methodology is simply this. He knows that his panel, the panel that he's facing are not going to read the paper, or is probably not aware of the paper. So he's relying on their ignorance, and then he's citing. And this guy, I've seen some of his videos. He likes to quote facts and figures and data from obscure sources. So what he does is he just looks for this paper. This paper talks about domestic violence in Muslim society. So let's just pick here this paper. Just randomly pick this paper. He doesn't even know what the study is about. He just finds the quotes which he thinks suits his agenda, and then he manipulates them like what you have exposed, and then he presents it as part of his research. Yeah, that's how he does it. I can.
And by the way, this research doesn't even prove anything, because like
Yeah,
most of this is done on like 100 people or something like that, and even on the research, it's done like what 50 research papers maybe.
Yeah.
So like this is not a representative of like millions and billions of people. So,
Yeah, there are like 2 billion Muslims in the world, so you can't use one paper to represent all Muslim societies.
one paper that was done on like 50 people maybe at best.
So I mean, this is just projection, but it's not solid data. It's just a just an estimate. You see, it's not solid evidence for anything.
Yeah, let's continue.
as it pertains to societies. Okay, if there are Islamic societies such that this does not occur, then you cannot say that Islam is going to be the sufficient cause in regards to this occurring in a society.
So
that's the whole point.
You have raised the bar to extreme levels where now we can't say anything. Once again, like the
It's
last
not
conversation,
blame
you went
those.
nuclear. You basically just said we can't use anything
That's a straw
because we need to.
That's not
That's a
true.
straw
That's
man.
not true. Because
Is there more
for
abuse in
example,
Muslim
I'll tell you why that's not the case.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Is
why that's
there
not
more abuse in
I'm
Muslim
going to tell you why that's not
We'll
the
get to
case.
the point.
I'm going to tell you why that's not the case. Because there are certain aspects of any religious text or any text that we interpret in general. Okay, there are certain aspects such that we can determine that because the vast majority of the people all adhere to it or all accept it within regards to that particular doctrine that we're talking about or anything of the sort, that this is a sufficient cause for it. For example, affirming Tawheed. That is something every Muslim will affirm. Okay, ergo, we could say it's a Quran or Islam in general is a sufficient cause in regards to affirming Tawheed as it pertains to Muslims. But you cannot come to that same conclusion as it pertains to specific laws and rulings, because there are different people who have interpreted it in different ways over time, such that they allow culture, society, etc., to influence and impact their decision on their interpretation.
So according to you, we can't know anyway. We can't know anything here. We can't know
I
anything.
literally just
Done,
the
you're
opposite.
done.
I-
Look at what she said and what he got. She's saying that it's not a sufficient cause, meaning the paper he's citing is not saying that this is what's causing this, right?
Yeah.
Sufficient cause, meaning that's the only cause.
Yeah.
Even the paper he's not saying that. He admits it's not saying that, right?
She's a
So
smart sister.
then
I
how
can tell you
is
that.
it proving that Islam is causing this?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah,
follow.
She's very sharp. I know. I've always admired Itachi. I find that she's very, astute in her knowledge. Mashallah. It's good to see sisters like this around.
Yeah.
We need more people like
Let's
that.
move
Every
forward
time
on
I let them
this.
talk, notice what's happening. I let them talk. Then I try to talk. They jump in and start interrupting me because they can't handle the data here.
You said you can't do it.
Oh, they can handle the data. You lied about the data. You cherry-picked the data.
So basically, what the data actually does is it does a meta-analysis on different researchers and their research.
Yeah.
Some of the researchers say that religion does cause this. Other research papers say that no, actually, it has nothing to do with this. Or the study that they did with the woman who holds on to Islamic belief, they claim that this is nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Other papers say that it has some influence, right? And so basically that's the whole point. So there are different opinions in this paper. He's
Right.
only quoting the opinions that helps him, ignoring the ones that doesn't. Right? He's cherry picking.
How unsurprising.
Yeah, this guy's just dishonest.
Yeah.
Anything. That's what you said.
There they go again.
That's
There
what
they
you
go
said.
again.
You said
I'm
like
looking at what you said. You said societies that produce more abuse are going to be worse. We can see the data. Even with alcohol consumption, Muslim societies are producing more abuse. It's in the studies I'm citing. Therefore, Muslim societies produced by Islam are worse than.
That's a lie. No, none of the papers say that there are more abuse in Muslim societies.
What Christian societies have produced. That's it. That's the debate right there. Thank you for coming.
Let's move to the next point.
Okay.
Right.
Consanguineous marriage is cousin marriage.
so
Do
guys,
you agree cousin marriage is okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this guy. Like, he just lied and he's acting like he won the debate.
Cousin marriage. Actually, when I did a brief study of this issue concerning cousin marriage, right? From what I understand, there's no scientific study or there's no concrete evidence that says.
Well, I mean, to be
cousin
fair,
marriage.
here he's not talking
Yeah.
about cousin marriage. He's talking about intimate
I mean,
partner. violence,
I'm
domestic
talking
abuse.
about. I'm generally speaking because he likes to cite papers and data and scientific research, right? But but from what I have looked at the data so far, there's no actual scientific study which conclusively say that cousin marriages are bad. This is just a perception of society. There's no real concrete studies which definitively say that cousin marriages are morally medically bad or anything of the sort. There's no evidence of this sort at all. It's just perception of society at the moment. Yeah. So if he likes to talk about data, he likes to use data and scientific papers and all this, then show us the data where he says that researchers have proven conclusively through the scientific method that cousin marriages are bad. See? So it's quite dubious for him.
Then he has to
yeah.
condemn the author of the Old Testament first.
That is also another issue that he has to face. But you see, the point I'm trying to make is he likes to cite papers, right? He says, "Oh, the papers say that domestic violence is bad. Blah blah blah. Muslims are, Islam is causing domestic violences in Muslim families. Blah blah blah." But then at the same time, he doesn't even use any research papers to prove the point that first cousin marriages are bad. So you see, he just picks and chooses whichever data that is available to him to suit his agenda. You see, he's not consistent.
Yeah, he's cherry picking.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Actually.
Quoted. He cherry picked from that, and he lied about this whole thing about supposedly there being more domestic violence in Muslim countries. There isn't.
Exactly.
There are like 2 million cases of domestic violence in the UK, where there's
Right.
only 1,000 in the Saudi Arabia, which by the way is not a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but like it's like less than
far less. Yeah. I mean, no, we're not saying that domestic violence is good anyway. It's just that it's far less than what he's trying to make it appear. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
Again, so when it comes to exactly what you mean by cousin marriage, going to be very nuanced. So, for example, in societies where there is a repeated cousin marriage that is explicitly condemned and something that is frowned upon within Islam, Ibn Khattab talks about this, and Imam Shafi'i talks about this as well, that if it is going to be repeated, where it is going to cause harm to the child, then it's going to be something that's shouldn't be done. That's what Islam teaches, right? So Islam, where it is implemented, then it's going to cause people followers of that text that there's not going to be repeated cousin marriage. But frankly, simply like a one instance cousin marriage, I don't believe that would entail harm necessarily, right? You have to prove that.
So, do you agree there is far more cousin marriage in the Islamic world than in the Western
I don't
world?
believe that Islam is the cause.
But is there more?
You'd have to read the data. But
So there's a lot more cousin marriage. For example, Pakistan, the rate's like 65%.
Beautiful.
Okay, so there's a lot more cousin marriage. Where are they getting that from?
no Islam. Can you prove
Cousin
Islam?
marriage.
This literally will go back to every single one of the points that you bring up in regards to this. Mill's method of difference is going to literally be a thorn for you right now. You don't want to address the fact that it can't be a sufficient cause. If it's the case, it's not occurring in every single Islamic society.
That doesn't
That's
follow
the
at
crux
all.
of the
No.
matter.
Let me address that. That doesn't follow at all because there are several factors involved. So, for example, in some societies, for example, there's Christianity is everywhere. Okay, but we can say for example, if we go to New Orleans, there's going to be a lot more crime than
By the way, both me and brother MENJ already did a video on this cousin marriage thing. Here, he's actually misquoting it. He's actually quoting a kind of like white nationalist researchers who has a habit of lying. Who has a habit of lying about this data. He's often exaggerates numbers and messes up numbers here and there. We already talked about this. I think his name is Spencer or something like that. The research paper. This guy's a fraud. He's a white nationalist. So he cannot be relied upon. By the way, there's another YouTuber. His name is Birdman. He also exposed this guy. and when he was debating Asmund Gold. You can
Asmund
also
Gold.
check out his video. He went through like his kind of like his paper.
I try to avoid watching anything that involves Asmongo because I find the guy to be a bit filthy, to be honest. I think you know why.
Yeah,
He's quite
yeah.
filthy.
He's also, by the way, he's also a Christian,
Okay. Yeah.
even though he claims to be an atheist. You know,
Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting.
he's very much on the MAGA side.
Oh, yeah. He's quite right wing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But let's continue.
Vermont. Okay. Why? Because we note in sociology there are numerous factors. There's a lot more poverty in southern Louisiana. So that's going to be another motivating factor. So that's what happens a lot often in these societies. They factor out those kind of things. But the studies I'm citing have done multivariable analyses. They have factored out things like poverty, like education levels. They still find intimate partner violence, higher levels of child marriage, okay, more oppression and
So I
persecution.
want to focus on cousin marriage.
Yeah, cousin marriage. Okay. Now I want to get back to that point. Okay.
So wait,
So
can you let me
is not Muhammad the pattern of conduct for Muslims?
Again, go ahead.
Yeah, I just really quick, and then he could address you on that point. So what I wanted to ask you, or rather say, is when it comes to a motivation, finding a motivation for a particular thing, what he already explained to you is that within our Islamic doctrine, within our Islamic teachings, early on, what we find, both the Caliph as well as people who are contemporary to the Caliph afterwards, they say that this is something which should not be encouraged. Okay, not only should it not be encouraged, but what we find is that they say that it is better for you to go and do something else. So that, and he states the specific reason as why. He says so that.
Why do they say that?
I'll tell you. He says specifically, Imam Shafi'i says specifically, so that your children do not end up as fools. He literally says it
Good,
verbatim. Good.
good.
So there is motivation. Now this is a question
Wait,
I'm
wait,
asking.
wait,
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 I'm
nature,
not done.
right? Nature,
I'm not done. Okay. So when it comes to this particular point, what I'm asking you, is there some basis for motivation within Islamic text or theology such that the opposite is also allowed to occur?
Cousin marriage?
The opposite. So not allowing for it, or not encouraging
Okay,
it.
I'm confused about what you're asking.
Yeah,
Are you asking,
specifically-
does the Islamic text allow cousin marriage?
Does it allow for it insofar as not encouraging the closeness of it? Okay, because saying the word cousin is going to be very vague.
First
Okay,
cousins.
the issue, okay, yeah, sure, first cousin is allowed. But the reason as to why it's not good is because over time, if you continue this particular type of behavior,
Beautiful.
that's what
By the way, let me show you guys some research papers that debunks him further. There's a research paper that came out from Turkey, a Turkish university, which basically highlights the fact that domestic violence actually is a result of lack of education, right? So the paper says analysis using a 1987 reform in Turkey that raised the number of years of compulsory education from 5 to 8 years show that men with more schooling have a lower propensity to engage in domestic violence against their wives, right? So this is nothing to do with religion or religious belief. This is mostly related to education, right? And by the way, this is a study in the Muslim world. So you can even claim that this is something to do with non-Muslim men. No, this is a Muslim world, a Muslim country that is saying education is contributing to domestic abuse, not religion or Islam, right? So this debunks him,
Yeah.
right? This debunks him.
Mm.
Increased schooling also reduced intimate partner violence. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Increased schooling also lowered the likelihood that a marriage is arranged against the woman's will and make a man less inclined to engage in socially unacceptable behaviors such as drinking, gambling, and drug abuse. So basically, all of these kind of like negative attributes are often associated with lack of education, right? And this is true because like even if someone who has like Islamic education, they're very unlikely to like abuse their wife or do any kind this kind of drinking, gambling, and all these other kind of like negative attributes. Something else for sure. Increased schooling also lowers the likelihood of men. So basically, yeah. So that's the whole point. So this is what this paper says. Now, if you look at another paper, this is a paper done on non-Muslim country. Let's share this. Let me share this. Here we go. Share screen. Yeah. New report finds education is an important step in reducing rates of gender-based violence. Right. And again, like these are actual researchers doing this, not Christian apologists like Michael Jones claiming that, oh, you know, Islam is the cause of all problems. No, these are actual honest researchers who have come to the conclusion that no, actually, lack of education is what leads to gender-based violence, not religion or religious belief. Right? So another study in Mexico also found the same thing. By the way, let me just sorry for taking some time, but like let me just destroy this guy on this point.
Okay.
Here, let me share this paper as well. Let me share this. This is another paper that was published in Science Direct. Violence against women in its association with education levels in Mexico.
Right.
Highlight is association between education and intimate partner violence. Analyze constructed severity. Considered the severity in index measure type. It is higher education reduces the likelihood of severe and very severe IPV, meaning intimate partner violence. So higher education reduces violence against women, right? So all these papers, all these three papers, all saying the same thing. And then you have this complete unqualified, uneducated Christian apologist saying the opposite. So who are you going to trust?
Definitely not the Christian.
The Christian is just following Paul, right? So
yeah.
you can really blame him.
right.
I mean, it's his religion.
Oh my God.
But
really
it just happens to be the case that if your God allows or promotes lying about your religion, then maybe it's not the true religion.
There's that too.
Yeah. Also, it's not like you have to lie in this case. Like, you just tell the truth. But no. Yeah, let's continue, Sean.
Leads to these types of issues. Exactly what Imam Shafi'i and Umar both state.
Where do they get that
So I'm asking you, they get it from based from natural understanding.
Exactly. They don't get it from Islam.
Right, so
They get it from
it's
science, from
mandatory.
nature. They're not. Islam is allowing it.
Hold on.
You won't let me show. I'll let you talk for a while. Let me now address this. Okay. Exactly. They were able to go and go, hey, all these generations of cousin marriages leading to lower IQ and all these birth effects. We shouldn't do this. But they're not getting that from Islam. They're getting that from their understanding of how the natural world works. Meanwhile, in Islam, Muhammad married.
This guy's such an idiot. He doesn't understand how Sharia law works.
I mean,
like, he doesn't understand how Sharia law works. Like, the reason they're quoting Umar ibn Khattab is because he's a successor to Prophet Sallallahu. He's a caliph who's been given authority by the Prophet himself, by ijma.
Yeah.
So, like, this idiot doesn't even understand how Islamic theology works. And here he is debating about Islam.
I don't know. I'm speechless. I don't know what to comment about. There's nothing to comment here. I mean, the guy is obviously, clutching at straws. Okay.
Yeah.
His first cousin, he married his daughter's the first cousin. So according to Islamic teaching, that's why it keeps happening throughout the Islamic world. This is why you have rampant cousin marriage in the Islamic world. Meanwhile, in the West, we have gotten rid of that.
Notice what the issue is. It's not specifically marrying first cousins. The issue that they highlight is that over time, if it's done repeatedly, that's where the issue occurs, correct?
Where does Islam say that just don't do it repeatedly?
They're literally the sources that we use. So if we're going to go based off of an Islamic standard, then according to the Quran, you follow these contemporaries of Muhammad, peace be upon him, such as
Muhammad.
Hold on. The Quran tells you to follow in their example. If we're going to follow in their example and follow in what they say, such that it's not something that contradicts Islam, there's no issue with accepting what they say. So ergo, they do have basis for making these statements, because when the Quran, for example, talks about taking from people of knowledge, people of knowledge is going to be an expert or having an expertise in that specific field. So if there are individuals who are Muslims at that time and they have some sort of expertise in the field of marriage and how this occurs in society and so on and so forth, if they say that over time what they see is that due to doing it multiple different times, right, or interbreeding multiple different times between first cousins, what it leads to is a deterioration of whether brains or anything of the sort, and then this is something that should be avoided. You are to.
By the way, that's another thing, which is that these people don't understand how Sharia law works. Sharia law isn't some kind of a monolith. And we talked about this before, which is that there's elements of Sharia law on how to apply these rulings, right? Where you have to use your knuckle, right? You have to use both the akal and the knuckle, right? So it's not like just something that just says in a book and we just blindly follow it. That's not how it works. So how you apply it, you have to use your rationality on how to apply it, right? Like, for example, in the case of cousin, this kind of marriages or any other kind of like social things, and Islam says that you cannot cause harm, right? This is a hadith. This is a well-established principle. So if this is causing harm, then obviously it's not allowed in Islam, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Can you add something?
Yeah, I think when it comes to fiqh, right, about cousin marriages or anything of the sort, there's nothing. I mean, the Quran and Hadith are pretty much silent on the fiqh or whether it's permissible or not non-permissible to marry first cousin. There's no explicit law.
By the way,
I mean,
please note,
yeah.
Christianity is fine with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It's
I
fine.
was just going to that. So there's no explicit law
Christianity is
where
fine with.
it's exactly like what I showed previously in the Old Testament, where he actually commands,
Yeah.
the followers of
By the way, who was it?
Musa
Let me
to
let
marry.
me let me find the.
You want
I
me to
believe
find the
it was.
quote? Do you want me
No,
to
no,
find
hold
the?
on. I'm gonna. You keep talking. I'm gonna find it, inshallah.
Okay, yeah. So so when it comes to faith, like I said, since there's no definitive law or Sharia where it says that cousin marriages is permissible or haram or or otherwise. So I guess this actually depends on the situation of the society at the time. It's just the same as how we would treat marriages at puberty. Okay, like 1,400 years ago, maybe even up to 30 years ago, 50 years ago, it was okay. It was acceptable for marriages to happen once a woman reaches her puberty, her first period. But however, since humankind has, I mean, the community has changed, the situation has changed, so there are now laws in place to prevent or to discourage that from happening.
Oh, by the
And
way,
that
here it
doesn't
is. Here it is.
and that
It's
doesn't
in
contradict the Sharia.
Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry to
Yeah.
interject.
So it's the same.
Here
So it's
in
the same thing with.
Gen-
So it's the same thing with cousin marriages as well. But in the Old Testament, it seems that cousin marriages are commanded by God to be
Yeah.
done. Okay. So do you want to
Yeah.
pull out
So
the verse? Yeah.
yeah, for example, Genesis 29:10-28.
Yeah.
It describes the marriage of Jacob and Rachel, who were first
Yeah.
cousins.
Yeah.
No
That's
one had
one
an
thing.
issue with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly.
and this is a very clear-cut example, by the way. And
Yeah.
Jacob was the son of uh, Abraham, right?
No. The son of Isaac.
Oh, all right, right. Sorry. So yeah, it's a biblical prophet. So yeah,
Yes.
a biblical prophet
Yes.
completely married his
Yeah.
own cousin,
Yes.
and they don't have an issue with this.
Nope.
But
They don't. They never did.
somehow,
Yeah.
Islam is the issue.
Oh yeah, Islam's always bad. Yeah, Islam bad, Christian good. Yeah, that's the
There we
motto.
go.
Yeah.
When Jacob saw Rachel, daughter of his uncle Laban, and Laban's sheep, he went over, rolled the stone away from the mouth of the well, and
Yeah.
watered his uncle's sheep. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and began to weep. So he kissed his cousin.
Oh
This is
dear.
before marriage, by the way. This is before marriage.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So he's going around smooching his own cousin. That's fine with Michael Jones, this expert in
Yeah.
philosophy.
Yeah. That's acceptable
Before
to
marriage, by the way, before marriage. Before marriage, going around
You.
smooching cousins.
My
It's
God.
fine.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
Islam. No.
Yeah.
Not Islam.
Oh, Islam cannot do it, but Christianity is fine. It's fine for Christians to do it. Yeah.
Not only Christians can do this. They can do this before marriage.
Oh wow. Wow.
So by the way, I didn't even notice this, but yeah, that's true. He did this before marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he kissed her and then proposed her. Like,
Oh my God.
wild, bro.
It's wow. It's wow.
And then he learned that they were like relatives, and he still wanted to marry her, which means cousin marriage is not an issue.
Yeah. And then Laban said to him, "You're my own flesh and blood," which kind of
Yeah.
seals the deal. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild, bro. It's wild.
Oh,
By the
stories that
way,
they make-
yeah, we're having some. I think the number is four or two. I think two
Yeah.
brothers who are watching.
Oh, okay. That's
I don't
good.
understand this whole thing with StreamYard, or it's like a YouTube issue where I know that people
Yeah.
are watching, but the numbers always deflect back to zero. All of a sudden it goes back to four.
Maybe people
Zero,
are watching and
5.
they're dropping off. Yeah, it could be that people are watching and then they drop off or something. I don't know.
No,
Maybe
I
that
don't
could
think
be the
that's
case.
it. I think it's just maybe like a glitch or an issue. But if you
Because
guys
right
are
now-
watching, please comment,
but-
inshallah.
But right now
Let us know.
on YouTube right now, I can see that only one person is watching right now though. How many people are showing up at your end?
It's jumping between 4, 1, 2, it's like that.
Okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe people are going in and out. I don't know. Yeah. Hard to
Yeah.
say.
Right now, 2 people are watching, inshallah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's continue.
So yeah. Anyway, how long are we going to do this? Yeah.
Hold on, we're almost done.
Okay. Right.
Almost done because we already exposed him on the research paper.
Right.
How he lied about you know, the paper he cited on the supposed domestic abuse. He lied about that. We showed how the papers actually proved the opposite. We showed how he lied about the paper that he's quoting.
Yeah.
We show how in Muslim country actually has less domestic abuse than non-Muslim countries like UK.
Right. Right.
And the paper doesn't show what he's claiming.
Yeah.
And it's just a meta-analysis of like different opinions of different scholars. So it's not giving like a opinion. And then there are studies that show that actually this kind of verbal violence occurs when there's a lack of education. That's it. Like this isn't some kind of religious thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's continue. Inshallah.
Okay.
According to the Quran. And there's no issue with that.
All right, now, I just want to know what happened. I let her respond. She went on for a good minute there. I wonder if I'm going to get to do that. Let's see if I can get this.
Go ahead. Go and ask questions.
Okay, so once again, once again, they're getting that from their understanding of nature. That's my point. But again, now we got to go back to the broader picture. What is actually happening? Islamic societies are producing societies that have rampant cousin marriage, and they're having lower IQs, more birth defects. This is also contributing to less economic progress, okay? Because Western societies have actually gotten rid of it. They've gotten rid of it. It's all.
By the way, he provided no source for this claim. That supposedly there are more cousin marriage in Muslim countries. That's just a lie. And the only source he provided before, you know, the debate he had with like Daniel, we proved that his source was faulty because he's quoting a white nationalist who was a habit of lying, and we've shown that how he lied about his research paper because other researchers called him out on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
Done away with very low, less than like 1% in the West, for example. Okay, that just means we're producing better societies. Now, if you want to say, well, Islam is not the motivating factor, I'm using your standard now. You're going to scientific aspects, people studying nature. So by your admission, the standard you set up earlier, they're not getting that. They're not getting the idea that cousin marriage is bad from Islam. If we go to what Islam just says, guess what's happening? Cousin marriage is allowed and it's growing. Then we just need to look at societies at large. What's happening? The West is producing far better societies because we have higher IQs, because we have less cousin marriage.
Like, was Jacob a Muslim? Like, I mean, he didn't have an issue with like marrying his cousin or kissing her. Like, I would have asked him this. Like, was Jacob a Muslim? What's going on?
Funny.
That is a contributing factor, okay? And then I'm almost done. Meanwhile, Islamic societies are producing worse societies, more child marriage, more abuse, and now we know more cousin
By
marriage.
the way, did you notice what he's doing? He's just repeating the same points, even though they debunked him. Did you notice this?
Yes, I did. I have noticed it. This is not something new.
This guy's so dishonest. This you clearly know this person is not honest because he's not engaging with them. His points got debunked. Like she literally showed this is not a sufficient cause, right?
Yeah.
So then how are you saying this is causing it? And you admitted it's not causing it. And later on, now he's all of a sudden go back to his same position.
He repeats the same thing again, right?
Yeah. Even though he just got debunked and he admitted that, oh, I'm not saying this, right? And now he's going back to, oh, I am saying this. So which one is it? He's fifth power.
Oh my God, this guy.
Which lowers the collective IQ. This is bad.
Right. So to come to the conclusion that you're saying is that if you look at society X, society Y, for example, we see that X society has something bad compared to this society, but there is a few things that you're not factoring in, right? So for some odd reason, when I said let's take the sample size and spread it even larger, for somebody we had an issue with that. I don't believe that taking the sample size bigger, where you can look at more historical context.
Speaking of which, he talked about IQ. Let's go to IQ. So by the way, bro, did you know that Iranians actually have higher IQ than Americans?
Oh, they do? I wouldn't know
They
that.
do. Let me share this. This is funny.
Okay.
Because his logic is that because Muslim countries are producing more cousin marriage, therefore it's leading to lower IQ, right?
Right.
Well, let's look at Iran, right? What's the IQ of Iran? It's 108, 108.27.
Okay.
Now let's go to America.
Okay.
Let's go to America. Remember, 108. So let's go to America.
Okay.
To America. And it's 102. It got even lower.
Oh my God. Okay. So again, it means
102.
that Iranians are really intelligent then.
Yeah. No wonder they're
Okay.
losing the war.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you explain this? If this is the case, the cousin marriage causes people to be stupid. How do you explain this? I mean, Iran has cousin marriage. Like, what's going on here? Why are Americans dumber than Iranians?
Oh dear. Okay.
And like for example, that's not even the only thing. Even the other Muslim countries are kind of similar to this number. So let's look at
Okay.
other countries.
Right.
Let's look at Malaysia, for example.
Okay.
Sorry, Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is also 108. People in Kazakhstan is also smarter than Americans. What's going on? Is there not cousin marriage there? They're majority Muslim, Sunni Muslim. I mean,
Okay.
what's
Okay.
going on?
Okay.
Let's look at Malaysia, for example.
Let's go to Malaysia, man.
Yeah, let's go. I know there are some,
Yeah, they're not Muslims
those
though.
people are there, but still,
Yeah.
we have a good number here, which is 101, which is similar to America, right? But according to his logic, it should be lower, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But and that's the thing. Like if you look at most of the numbers, what the kind of like the researchers did, the researcher he quoted, he's actually a white nationalist. What he did is he completely reduced the numbers. Like for example, if it's like 90, he reduced it to 70, this kind
Okay.
of stuff. And he
Okay.
used studies from very long time ago, not the latest studies. And those, according to those numbers, the Muslim numbers are actually quite low. But if you go to
Okay.
modern studies, Muslim numbers are
Right.
very, very high, right? It's like
Okay.
in the hundreds, 98, hundreds, like that. They're like same as Americans, right?
Yeah.
So this clearly shows that this is nothing to do with cousin marriage. It's more to do with education, right? Because Muslim countries are developing faster, and education is becoming more rampant. It's leading to higher IQ because guess what? You read more, you get smarter, right? So like this is such a stupid argument. Like even the researchers that says this is stupid for even claiming this. He is stupid for claiming this too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this guy's a fraud, and he's lying about this.
I can imagine.
Cousin marriage doesn't produce stupid people like that. It has nothing to do with IQ. But anyway, let's continue.
Okay.
Pump energy before, because you're looking at society, you're looking at the effect. And just because we see, for example, Western countries that are part of NATO that have a better economic factors, and we have Muslim countries in the Middle East where they have worse economic factors, where they could be driving, where they are driving factors for these consequences that we see, right? You cannot pin this on Islam and say this is because of Islam, right? So I would argue that if we take the example back even further, we can argue for things like alcohol use, we can argue for things like unaliving of the Jews, 70,000 Jews being alive by the Christians, right? And this was from Christian societies. If we take this back, and also one point I want to comment on, he said that if we appeal to natural law as Muslims, that renders me a more relativist. It doesn't follow.
That was something different. That's not what I was talking
I want to
about.
comment on that because for some odd reason you have an issue with Muslims appealing to natural law
We had
when
three
natural
people
law is
watching
something that is taught within Islam,
Right.
right? As in Sunni Islam, we believe that there is going to be things that are going to be inherently known as immoral or the natural disposition that we can use, aka natural law. So natural law in Islam doesn't contradict anything that does not be moral. Example, because he's the one that set those standards. And according to the hadith, where he says, "La darar wa la dirar," no harm, no reciprocated harm, right? And the only thing he said, oh, well, people interpret it different. Well, the thing is, if you take the traditional view, that anything that entails harm, physical and mental harm, is going to be not allowed. So, real quick, would you agree that if we take the sample size back, then there'll be different results from what you're concluding?
You mean history? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Yeah, we're taking the whole of history here. Okay.
And by the way, in regards to the principle of harm, it does exist in Sharia law, by the way.
Right.
Of course, it's not the same as like the liberal version of it. The Islamic jurisprudence is very clear that you cannot harm people, right?
Right.
So
right.
it's a principle that exists, and the way the scholars have applied it is completely consistent with the way Muslim countries are operating now. So there's no inconsistency here when it comes to a Muslim country having an age of marriage of 15, which by the way, many scholars even came to this conclusion anyway, and that age of marriage can be at 15 if there's no sign from the girl to 18, right? So there's no contradiction there. So like if his argument is that Islam is causing this, then it doesn't follow because Islam doesn't say that you can cause harm, right? So
Right.
it doesn't follow. And there's no evidence that there was any harm done between Aisha radiallahu anhu. There's no evidence that this will cause harm in the future. Because Islam doesn't say that you can harm them. So you can have an age of marriage, and there's no contradiction between that. So like if he's arguing that Islam is causing more harm, it doesn't follow because Islam literally says the opposite.
Yeah.
And even when it comes to those examples of marriage based on puberty, even in those examples, you have to follow that particular fiqh law based on,
Yeah.
it has to be practiced in a way where it's not causing harm. That's why
Yeah.
in countries like Saudi Arabia has raised their age of marriage to 15, and that's completely consistent with what happened in the past,
Exactly that.
because the point was, about purity and whatnot.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't harm the girl in general.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
So you just can't go to like, well, maybe like 300 years ago it was different. We have to take the whole of history
Thank
here.
you.
The whole of history shows Christian societies are far better. And one of the results is cousin marriage, consanguineous marriages. They're far more rampant in Islamic societies. So let me give you an analogy to help you with this. Okay, so take Ozempic. Ozempic.
By the way, he provided no evidence for this. That supposedly there are more cousin marriage in there. By the way, there is a lot of cousin marriage in America. By the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is.
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
It's actually there's a term for it. Like, they say that this kind of hillbillies marrying their cousins and stuff like that. That's actually a saying in America to kind of
really?
highlight this practice.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Was produced, they came up with it to help with type 2 diabetes. But then they discovered it also helps with weight loss. So it produced an unintended result. Now when we look at Christian societies, coming from Christianity, Islamic societies coming from Islam, one of the unintended results is cousin marriage. There's far less in the West, a ton more in the Islamic world. That just shows that Islam is... I almost was done. I'm almost done. So Islam is producing...
He's just repeating the same point.
Yeah,
Right.
I can tell.
Like
Yeah.
cousin marriage is allowed in Christianity. So
Yeah.
far worse societies because you have rampant cousin marriage. Okay? You may not have intended that. You may not think that is, but this is still just a reality on the ground.
Beautiful. So again, you did concede that if we take the sample size, it would be different. But the studies that you cited don't account for history, IP. You would agree that the sample size that you quoted only...
Because they can't.
Right, exactly. So you would agree that it doesn't account for history, right?
They can't. It's impossible in sociology.
Beautiful, exactly. So when you say that, when you reference a model, for example, where it's like 1988 to like 2010, where you reference a country where it has like bad socioeconomic factors, it would then follow that we would expect there to be worse societies compared to the West, obviously, right? But we can't take that and conclude that Islam is going to be worse society. Why? Because Islam doesn't inherently teach those things are going to be abhorrent. It doesn't.
We're talking about what these religions have produced. If we look through the whole of history, what has come from it?
again, like his argument doesn't make any sense because West is not Christianity. Like he keeps repeating this like it's some kind of gotcha. West is not Christianity. like there are gay marriage in the West. How many gay marriage is allowed in the
he's
New
not gonna
Testament?
get it. He's not gonna get it because he's a right-wing Christian. You see, he think American Christian, so he thinks that America has to be
Western
a
society.
it has to be Western society in general has to be a Christian state for some reason. Yeah.
Islam. What has come from Christianity? Which has more cousin marriage today? The Islamic society or Christian?
By the way, this is such a lie. Western society has nothing to do with Christianity, bro. Like Western society is the deletion of Christianity. Like, does he really think Christianity allows all the debauchery that's been going on in the West? Like all the gambling, the alcohol, the drugs. Like, does it actually think this is allowed in Christianity? All of this is allowed under secularism. They're allowed in liberalism.
Exactly.
So, like, this argument makes no sense. So stupid.
Which one?
So if I was to think, for example,
Which one?
of course Islam would be better.
Thank you.
Islam would
Okay,
be better.
Islam has more cousin marriage.
No, Islam would be better.
His
Right.
question was
Cousin
which
marriage,
society
cousin
produces more
marriage.
cousin marriage.
Right, so this is very like because I don't think
Cousin
first cousin will like repeat cousin marriage.
First cousin
Yeah, so
marriage.
I don't believe that first cousin marriage was like not repeated is going to be immoral. I don't believe that. We don't, I'm not.
By the way,
This guy is so after the cousin marriage. Cousin marriage.
by the way,
Cousin marriage
speaking of
destroys Islam. Do you know that cousin marriage destroys Islam? You marry your cousin, Islam is false.
cousin.
Okay. There's one thing I need to point out too. You see, even if we grant him the point that Islam does allow cousin marriages, and that that in the end Islam is Islam is false because it allows for this, and that cousin marriages is bad for society. Blah blah blah. How does this prove that Christianity is true? Okay, just ignore the laws in the Old Testament. Okay, let's say
No, but that's
Christianity.
that's the thing.
yeah,
Like even
yeah.
if we grant for the
Even
sake
if.
of argument, Islam
Yeah,
allows
for the sake of
cousin
argument.
marriage.
For the sake of
Right.
argument, cousin marriage is bad.
It doesn't follow
So
that Islam will
yeah.
cause more cousin marriage. It doesn't follow.
It
But that's
doesn't
the
follow that,
fault.
and at the same time, it doesn't prove that Christianity is true because it doesn't allow cousin
Yeah.
marriages. You see?
Yeah.
You see?
It also
You
doesn't
see?
prove that this is causing harm in society because their cousin marriage has been
Yeah.
allowed by all societies in the past.
Exactly. Exactly.
Doesn't mean,
Yeah.
and those are the same societies that are that
Even
is modern.
even if we assume, let's say we assume that no other society practices cousin marriages except for Islam, and that cousin marriages is really, really, really bad for everyone, and therefore it is means that Islam is bad. How does it prove that Christianity is true?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. And also, Christianity has nothing to do with the Western society. Like, that's because the West
Yeah, you see,
like banned it or
You see?
whatever.
Yeah, that's my point. So the thing is, even if it's true, so what? What does that have to do with the truth of Islam, or what does that have to do with Christianity being good for society, or or it proves that Christianity is true, or is that it's
Yeah.
good for society?
And also,
You see?
like I think this is not the argument. I think he forgot his own argument. His own argument, the original
Yeah.
argument is that
Yeah, yeah,
so basically Islam allows cousin marriage, and that
Yeah.
cousin marriage causes people's IQ to go lower. Therefore,
Yeah.
Islam is producing dumber countries or something like that.
yeah.
But it
yeah,
doesn't follow because there are so
but-
many Muslim
yeah.
countries that has the same
Yeah.
IQ as Christian countries, or
Yeah,
even
and
higher.
you've
Iran,
already shown
Iran,
that.
for
Yeah, you've
example,
already shown
Iran is
that.
literally destroying you guys in terms of economy and economic warfare, and they have more hierarchy than you. So how do you
That is a funny.
explain
That's
this?
the funny part. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, yeah.
Like, and same thing with like Kazakhstan, countries like Kazakhstan, which also has the same or sorry higher IQ than you guys.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
So
Right?
I guess cousin marriage refused to work in these countries. I don't know. And also, he didn't cite any research paper that shows that there are more cousin marriage in Muslim countries as opposed to other countries. And even if there was, like, so what? Like, you didn't show that it's causing any harm in these countries, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So,
my point.
like he has no point. Like, he just keep repeating the same things without any evidence, without any solid argument.
saying it is. I'm not saying cousin marriage is necessarily immoral, but it is. For example, eating sugar is not immoral. But if
Right.
you eat a lot of sugar, you're going to affect your
Right.
health.
So if-
Okay.
right.
Likewise, we can set aside the moral issue on the table right now. We can set it aside.
Okay, beautiful.
Regardless, cousin marriage still makes worse societies. You just admitted there is more cousin marriage in Islamic society, and I'm even granting it's just a side.
By the way, how does you make sense of the golden age of Islam then? Like, there was no cousin marriage there then? So what's going on?
Yeah,
Or
and yet,
Ottoman
and yet,
Empire,
and yet
which
Muslims
is invented
could
things like
achieve a-
cannons, which destroyed
Yeah.
your Christian society.
Yeah,
They completely
Muslims invented.
obliterated
Yeah,
all the
Muslims
military
invented.
obstacles.
Muslims invented things like soap, for example. I mean, you
Yeah.
couldn't take a bath without Muslim invention of soap. Okay,
Yeah.
you can't even.
And
take,
how do you
yeah.
explain the fact that Muslims literally wiped out Christianity from Middle East? How do you explain that?
That as well. Yeah, yeah.
If
So-
Christianity supposedly produces smarter people,
yeah.
or like
If
better society.
let's say we grant the idea that Christianity has Christians have better IQ than Muslims in the Muslim world, then it seems that the Muslims with lesser IQ could wipe out the whole of the Christian empire and manage to conquer the Byzantine Empire and manage to bring down the Persians too. Wow, so that's so amazing for a group of people with lower IQ than you guys. Then I'd rather be with a group with lower IQ. Then it's not good. It's not good being with. I rather have lower IQ and conquer Persia and Byzantine,
Constantinople.
and Constantinople exactly, rather than having higher IQ and yet lose to those people who have lower IQ.
By the way, please note the most kind of like powerful example of like military might happened with like start of the British Empire. I think British Empire for the most part was almost unbeatable. Even though they were non-Muslim, I think this is just objective fact. But the thing is that British Empire was not exactly Christian coded, like they were not a Christian theology based empire. It was mostly kind of like there was a lot of kind of like secularism. They called for secularism. There's a tension between the church and the state.
It was pivoting towards that. Yeah, most of the reasons why the British Empire came to be was because of economic reasons, nothing to do with religion. I mean, in the earlier part, yes. I mean, like the Portuguese, when they came to my region, they came to the Southeast Asian region and they conquered Malacca. That was motivated partly by religion. When the Spanish came to Manila and took over the Philippines, yes, that was partly motivated by religion. But this was in the 16th century. So towards the 17th, the 18th century, things started to change. It was more about economic reasons. So when the British came here in the 18th century, the 1700s, it was motivated by looking for new resources and for economic reasons. Not much. I mean, religion still played a factor, but that was not the main reason anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, and so going back to the main point, which is that, like, if
Yeah.
you're going to argue that Western society is like product of Christianity, then you need to explain why the British Empire and all the other kind of Christian countries separated away from the church. Like, what happened there? Like, you need to
Yeah.
explain that history. And when you try
Yeah.
to do that, it completely destroys your rhetoric. It completely destroys
Yeah.
your argument.
Yeah.
Because the reason they did that is because Christianity was not producing proper result to compete with Muslim empires like the Ottomans, right, or
Right.
like the other empires, or
Yes. Yes.
like with their fight with the Napoleon, right? So
Yeah.
like they had to find a way to move away from religion, right?
Yeah.
That's why there was a
Exactly.
separation in the first place.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly
their
that.
religion was not producing the result they wanted, right?
Mhm.
But that's not necessarily the case with Islam. Like after basically the Islamic Empire fell with the Ottoman Empire, right?
Yeah.
And that happened because of the like secularism, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
the Young Turks, they decided, they wanted a different kind of state, despite the fact that we've also had Islamic empire.
Yeah.
And even
that's
in
right.
India, there was a massive movement of bringing back the caliphate.
Yeah.
And then the British took brutal measures to take them out. And the reason they did that because they saw Islam as a threat. They saw the Muslim scholars as a threat. And there are some books, and if you read some of the accounts, there are many books written on this of how the British tortured and killed the Muslim scholars in India. And there's even an account where they basically hung them from trees. Like if you go from one region to another region, you will see all the Muslim scholars being hung from the trees. That's what the British did because they saw the Muslim scholars as a threat. So if this is really the case that Muslim produces lower IQ people, why are they going
Yeah.
around killing intellectuals from the Muslim society? Right?
It's so funny.
Like if you just
Yeah.
study history for like 5 seconds, like this guy gets debunked. But anyway, let's continue.
It doesn't matter. That shows Islam has produced worse societies. Case closed.
So if I was to take the sample back, when, let's say, for example, 70,000 Jews were unalived by the Christians, right? And wait, we live in another time, me and you live in another time, and we say, hey, look, we see more violence perpetrated by the Christians from the Roman Catholics against the Jews. At that time point, from that time, if we're having the same debate at that time, would then for that, because Christianity is going to be more violent towards Jews, and therefore Islam will be better in society?
So, Dan,
Would it follow? No,
hold on.
answer the question.
No.
You have to answer this question.
No, okay, reset the question because it's so irrelevant to what we're talking about. We're not talking about marriage, you're talking about violence.
Yeah, because we're talking about which is better, right?
Yeah, which has produced better societies.
If we're at a time when 70,000 Jews were unalived by the Romans, by the Christians, at that point, and we're having the same debate, and we saw that Christianity or Christian countries will produce more violence, would you then agree that at that point, if we're having the same debate,
Sure.
at that point, at that point, if we're having the same debate, we would agree that Christianity would have been producing more violence. It would be worse, right?
So in a possible world, not our world, where there's more violence.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, if it's producing more violence, it's bad. Guess what? Islam produces more violence.
So it's arbitrary. Thank you.
No, I didn't.
Historically
I said
speaking,
possible.
Christianity was the worst
Hold on,
religion
hold on.
and
You
got
just
all the
spoke
better
yourself. You don't realize.
Beautiful.
You said in a possible world, if the society's producing more violence, that's bad. I got some bad news for you. There's been studies shown. For example, Davis Brown's book, War, Religion, in a Secular Age, shows that Christianity has a restrictive war ethic. It produces less interstate armed conflict. Meanwhile, Islam has a permissive war conflict. So not only do we have more child marriage, we have more abuse, we have more cousin marriage, as you admitted. Now we're going.
This is another lie. So let me expose him again. So basically, here, what he's doing is he's cherry picking data again. So basically, what you have to understand is that when it comes to this kind of researchers and this kind of post 9/11 researchers, what they do is that they start documenting the Muslim world from the 9/11 and completely ignore all the history before then, like, as if like Muslim history started from 9/11, right? So it's cherry picking. And the reason these Bush era kind of like academics did that is because they needed something to make the Muslim world look worse than it is, right? That's why they did it. So there's actually a research that I'm going to cite right now where the researchers actually went beyond that. Like 10 years, if you just add 10 more years before then, Muslim countries become the lowest, not lowest, but that comes at number 4. And the highest number of violence, interstate conflict, happened actually by the majority of the Buddhist countries, Buddhist majority countries, right?
Okay.
So let me highlight this. Let me show this what I'm talking about. Share screen, and here we go. So this is the paper. Yeah, this is the paper. So what they did is they looked at the number of conflict from 1946 to 2014. So they didn't just start at like 9/11 in like 2002. They went beyond that. So this is the majority religion, Buddhism in the chart. You can see Buddhism, Christianity, folk religion, Hinduism, Islam, and all this, right? So number of countries is 8, majority, Muslim majority. Number of countries with civil war, 4, and the percentage is 50. So when it comes to civil war, there are some civil wars in even with civil wars,
Mhm.
Buddhists have it more than Islam, right? So there are more civil wars in Buddhist and Muslim majority countries.
Mm.
Independence is there. Years with civil war, 73, and uh, uh, Islam is higher in terms of years with civil war. But if you look at the actual interstate conflict,
Yeah.
it's very low. For example, uh, look at the figure 4. Figure 4, it's not the figure 4, I think we're talking about table 4. Let me show it to you guys. Figure 4. Oh, here we go. Figure 4.
Mm.
This is the share of civil war battle deaths occurring in civil wars in Muslim countries from 1946 to 2014.
Mm.
And if you look at it, you will see that conflict in Muslims are the lowest in terms of violence, which means actual war between nations. It's dominated by non-Muslim countries. So,
Okay.
state of battle deaths in Muslim countries, you see from 1946 is very low, almost non-existent. Then there's a spike in 1958, and goes up, 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 and then goes down in 2002,
Okay.
and goes up again. But I don't think this is the. Hold on.
Mm.
Figure 4. Let me see. 1, 2. Yeah, figure 4. In Muslim countries, 1946.
Mm.
Oh, it's figure 5 actually. Oh, sorry, my bad. I meant to show figure 5. I apologize. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me share this.
Okay.
Sorry, wrong.
Okay.
My mistake. My mistake. Apologies.
Mm.
Figure 5. This one. So this is the total number of battle deaths in interstate war, meaning wars between countries. Wars between countries. Look at this chart,
Okay.
bro. 1946. There's a spike. Like, of course, it's the World War. After the post-World War, there's a spike. Goes down. Nothing until 1964. Then it goes up a little bit. Then goes down again. Again, nothing. Again, goes up a little bit. And from 1990s, there's nothing until 2014.
Yeah.
Nothing until 2014. There's no interstate war in Muslim countries from 1992 to 2014. And the
Okay.
ones that are there are very negligible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you look at non-Muslim countries, it's much higher.
Mm-hmm.
It's much higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, interstate
Yeah.
conflict, non-state death penalty, interstate conflict.
Can you share this paper with me?
Yeah, sure, of course. So
Okay.
the point is that if you look at the interstate conflict of this country,
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism comes, most of the cases, Buddhism actually comes highest when it comes to civil wars. And even
Okay.
with interstate conflict,
Right.
the highest is actually Hinduism.
Haha.
That's interesting.
Interesting. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah,
That is so interesting.
yeah. Anyway, so the point is that he's lying. I mean, like, if you look at the kind of like Muslim societies, there's
Okay.
not been any major interstate war in Muslim societies since 1994 to 2014, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where if you look at most of the wars in modern societies, it's been started by America in the UN, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the American invasion of Iraq,
Yeah.
all the endless wars produced by Israel and its
Yeah.
allies.
Yeah.
So what does that mean is that Muslims did not go out of their way to start wars, right? That's the whole point.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
So what he said is basically a lie. But anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
Here, It's literally, you can literally see it. It's a dead. It's a basically a flat line. Wait, let's continue. Let's continue.
Societies are producing more violence, as the research by Davis Brown, Jonathan Fox, Monica Duffy Pop has shown. So guess what? In your possible world, when we apply to this reality, it shows Islam is more violent.
No, I expose you because now your criteria has become arbitrary.
No, it isn't.
It is.
No.
Because I shown you that the studies that you're making are based upon factors that are to do with socio-economic factors in the Middle East.
No.
It doesn't account for all
That's
history.
false.
And if we were to
That's
take,
false.
let me finish. If we take that back the sample size, the point where there was violence perpetrated against innocents, women, children, then you would see it in that possible world where it was a reality at some point.
Possible world.
That was
Not a reality.
That was a reality at some point. The Christianity would be better.
No, was it?
Thank
No,
you.
was it? Here's the problem.
So
You don't
we
know
are
how these
sorry.
studies work. Okay, they don't just go, a lot of violence happened over there, less violence happened over there, therefore better.
That's
so
strong.
Davis Brown, for example, factors in those socioeconomic factors you were bringing up. So they're taking this kind of stuff in. They're factoring in things like poverty, like education levels, regional disputes, fighting over resources. And after they factor all those things in, they're still finding that Islam is producing more interstate armed conflict.
Where was the evidence for that?
Davis Brown's book, War, Religion, and the Secular Age.
But what's the evidence that the socioeconomic factors are going to be insignificant in relation to Islam?
The socioeconomic, he factored them in. He's factoring in.
So
he's looking
how do they factor them in?
So he's looking at
Islam
multiple.
is going to be exposed.
He's looking at multiple countries. So
Right.
he's looking at countries in North America, Middle East, Europe, Asia, Africa, all around. And then he says, well, okay, now we need to use the model to weigh in certain things.
Again, he's lying. So let me show another research paper that again exposes him. I came prepared, guys. Hold on, give me a minute. So here it is. This is a research paper based on a book, called Civil Wars. The Middle East is violence on the limits of comparative approach to the study of armed conflict. This is written by Professor Jacob Mundy. So basically, what he says is that here we go. Hold on. What he says is that, like Muslim countries or quote unquote Middle East is no more violence prone than any other countries. So yeah, hold on. Let me just read what Mundy says. For years, there have been debate as to whether or not the Middle East experiences more armed conflict, and for different reasons, than other regions in the world. Absent is any consideration of the ground upon which such regional comparisons are possible. Rather than providing a general account of regions, this article instead provides a theory of the Middle East based on violent practices that have made and reproduced in Middle East as a region, both materially and ideationally. Though the critical comparative study of the conflict, there are more ways to understand that. Hold on, let me. Yeah, this is the. Let me show a quotation that he makes. Bro, you there? Bro, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, don't worry.
Sorry, you just looking at the PC. I thought.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm reading your screenshot. Yeah.
Nice. So here it is. This is his conclusion. So, is the Middle East more violent than any other region in the world? Well, before the events of September 11, this question provoked a debate polemics from a number of quarters. Rarely this has been studied in a systematic and comparative fashion. Most studies have tended to suggest that there is nothing extraordinary about the rates or causes of organized violence in the Middle East in comparison to other regions. Right? That's literally what he says. Right? This is the opinion of Jacob Mundy. The most rigorous effort to compare the levels of etiologies of armed conflicts in the Middle East with other world regions appeared over a decade ago. It had two relevant conclusions. One, the Middle East is no more conflict-prone than any other region in the world. And two, etiology of civil wars in the Middle East are no different than anywhere else. And this is the study he cites. You can go and read the study, right? It's another one. Oh, sorry, it's I think. Hold on. So yeah, this is the paper. You can see on screen. That's by Sorel Emi Gestich. Why is there so much conflict in the Middle East? This is done by, I think he's a sociologist or professor. Anyway, so yeah. So this professor is saying that no, actually Middle East is no different than any other place. And this loser is claiming that no, actually Islam is somehow producing more violence, which makes no sense. So who are you going to trust?
Yeah.
Who are you going to trust?
Definitely not the Christians.
Because, for example, countries in Europe are going to be richer.
Right.
So we need to now know, could all the interstate armed conflict be coming from higher levels of poverty? Okay, no, we're still finding it even when we factor in poverty. Could it be coming over education levels? No, we're still finding that.
So for
that's
example,
why sociologists run these
if you look
models.
at like a country like Indonesia, right, where it is a Muslim country, right, where we see that has a good GDP, where is performing relatively well, and it's a Muslim country, that would undermine the study done by these researchers in case, why? One, because we're looking at sample size, we're looking at whether or not poverty will essentially be a factor. We have two countries, both are Muslim, right? One has poverty, one does have poverty, and we see these issues exceedingly happen in countries where there is poverty.
Yes, poverty is a factor and also contributes to interstate armed conflict, just like Islam does. Another factor. So multiple factors. So if you're a country that is Islamic and poor, you have more violence. If you're a country like, for example, UAE, who has wealth but Islam, you're going to have less interstate armed conflict, less wars, less civil wars, that kind of stuff. Poverty is also a factor. I'm not denying there are not other factors, but Islam is still a factor.
That's the whole point, is that you can't just say that it's because of Islam. It is mainly these other factors that are coming into play. Because if it's the case, it's Islam, okay, then you are saying effectively it's a sufficient cause. It literally goes back to every single point you make.
Are you saying if there are any other factors involved in society, we cannot say Islam is the cause of one war?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying even if it's the case, there are other factors, okay? It's in order for Islam to be the reason as to why this is the case, it would have to be prevalent in every single one of those Islamic societies, okay? But since it's the case that we observe the opposite, where it's not the case in every single society. So, for example, if we're going to take the violence thing, Pakistan versus UAE, right? What we observe is that due to the fact that one of them is more affluent than the other one, there is less violence that is occurring, correct?
More affluent, so if there's more wealth is what you mean?
Yeah.
More wealth does decrease interstate armed conflict. Another factor.
But both of them have two factors that are being weighted right now. Okay, one.
All right, let me share another study, which again debunks them.
Okay.
By the way, this is the same study, but like it's the abstract. So in recent years, most armed conflicts have taken place in Muslim countries. Are Muslim countries more war prone? Not necessarily. If you look at data for the whole period World War II, but in the post-Cold War era, most wars are civil wars, and Muslim countries have a share of those disproportionately. That is not mainly because conflicts among Muslims have increased, but because other conflicts have declined. Muslim countries are also overrepresented among countries with high levels of other forms of internal violence, including non-state conflict, one-sided violence, highly repressive human rights policies, and countries that practice capital punishment. They also have higher than average. They also have higher than average interstate conflicts. This is not a clash of civilization. This is not a clash of civilization. Most of the victims are Muslims. We have listed several hypotheses apart from religion itself as to why these patterns have emerged, including colonial history, intervention from major powers, and economic and political development. Finally, on more optimistic note, while many Muslims are exposed to violence, 4 out of 5 countries with the largest Muslim population do not currently experience civil war, which means majority of Muslims do not face civil war or war, right? Because majority of the population of Muslim countries that host Muslims, do not experience war or kind of like interstate conflict, right? So this guy's a liar. This is a opinion of a scholar, Niels Gladish. I think he's a sociologist. So yeah, you can read the paper yourself. I'll share the link.
Okay.
This guy's a liar again.
So how long are we going to do this?
What we find is that not both of them have these issues occurring in them at the same rate.
Okay.
Right?
The same rate. Yeah, that's why they have to be weighed.
So it can't be due to specific. And by the way, that also, the part about the UAE and the violence part, there's still going to be poverty-stricken areas in the UAE, such that those violence or that violent stuff can occur in those areas, right? But typically, the more affluent areas, you don't find that there, correct?
More affluent areas, yes, will have less fighting.
Right. It's typically in the areas that have fundamentalist
Less
views.
fighting.
Right?
Absolutely, yes.
Right, not traditionalist views, correct?
Depends on how you define traditionalists or fundamentalists.
Meaning people who just want to take their own interpretation as opposed to those who are taking an orthodox interpretation of Islam.
We're getting way off top. This is irrelevant to the point, though. What you're trying to do,
directly to the point.
What you're trying to do is trying to say that we can show any other factor, then we can say that's the cause of the interstate armed conflict. Okay, but that's not how that works.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't come to the conclusion that it is because of Islam that this is the reason. No,
it is one of the reasons.
Okay, yes, one of the reasons. Hold on, one of the reasons.
Thank you. It is one of the reasons. That's all I wanted.
In the same way that Christianity was one of the reasons why the Crusades happened, why it was one of the reasons why the Jews were persecuted and Muslims saved them afterwards. It goes the same way both ways.
So it's one of the reasons.
In the same way that Christianity was one of the
reasons. Which is producing less conflict.
Depends on what time period you're talking about. Because if we're talking about back then, we were talking about the
which has produced a society that has produced less conflict.
Depends on the time period, like I just said.
Right now, which all of history together, which has produced societies that have less conflict.
Depends on which societies we're talking about still.
Islamic
Because
versus Christian.
Hold on. Because there are different Islamic and Christian societies,
Okay,
correct?
which has produced less conflict.
Okay, fine. I'll answer your question. No problem. I'm going to compare Mexico and the UAE. UAE
Oh
has
my
definitely done it
goodness.
less.
Okay, so we're now gonna cherry pick samples here, guys.
Only today.
How
What
did
the hell
she
is-
cherry pick example?
What the hell
What
is
is he
this
talking
guy
about?
trying to argue, man? I don't know. I lost the argument, the train of thought already when he started questioning.
So basically, he's saying that he keeps repeating the same point that Muslim countries
Yeah.
causes more, but he didn't produce any evidence. Like he wrote like quotes some book, but he doesn't say what the argument is, right? Like, is it the case that most Muslim countries has more interstate conflict? Then that's false. That's just not true. When we saw that, like, there's almost a flat line when it comes to research, the actual research from 1964 to 2014. So are you going to tell me that from 14 to 26, all of a sudden there's a jump in terms of war, interstate war? No, I mean, we know what goes on in the Middle East. There's no interstate war there, except maybe in Palestine and Israel and those areas.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like other than that, like, what other examples can you even name? Like, there isn't any. Sure, there are civil wars that's going on, like, for example, in Somalia and whatnot. But in terms of interstate
I
war,
think in the
and-
Sudan as well. Yeah, but that's Africa.
yeah, Sudan. Sorry, Sudan. I mean Sudan, not Somalia. But there are civil wars in Somalia as well. But the point is that you cannot argue and say that they are more interstate war when there's no evidence for it. I mean, if you look at the majority of Muslim countries, or countries that host majority of Muslims, countries like Indonesia, no wars there. Countries like India, and like no wars. It's a Hindu majority country, but still, Muslims are not facing any war there. Then country like Bangladesh, there's no war since 1971. Country like I don't know, what is it? Pakistan. Again, Pakistan has experienced some war with like Afghanistan and maybe some clashes with India, but there's no major war that happened. But compare that with like the European countries and the whole world war that happened. They're like, this is nothing. Yeah. But anyway, let's continue.
Only today. Which one is better, Christianity or Islam?
Look at what just happened.
Nice, man.
We just cherry picked because she knows that the Islamic society at large has produced worse countries with more
Well, I just
child
gave you an
marriage, more
example.
consanguineous marriages, more abuse,
What about
and now
Brazil?
more conflict. Okay, this is all coming out of Islam. And we just saw that. That's why this is what the data shows. At the end of the day, this is not a debate. This is just one of us talking about the numbers and one of us trying to get rid of the numbers.
Brazil's got those high numbers of consanguineous marriage as well, and it's a Christian country.
Okay.
Is Christianity a reason?
Who produces less?
Is
The
Christianity a
whole
reason for
point
that?
is that
Produces
you're
less.
going based off of a particular Islamic country or a few particular ones.
By the
It's
way,
not the case in every
let me
single Islamic
I
country.
let me expose this guy again. Let me share something. There's a funny thing that the Christian apologist often repeats, which
Yeah.
is that this is something that he himself, I'm going to show this, he himself have used, which is that according to them, according to researchers, majority of the world wars that happened, only 5% of them were religious wars. Only 5%, which means religious wars are an absolute minority when it comes to warfare in its totality. So
Okay.
if we go by this logic, and please note, he's arguing that Islam causes the most amount of wars, right? That's his position. So how can that be logically possible if religion only causes 5% of war? But this is a data he himself used in debate. I'm going to show this, right? So he himself at one point is saying that religion causes the least amount of violence, and now when it comes to Islam, he's saying that no, Islam causes the most amount of violence. Like, how does that make sense? He's literally contradicting himself.
Yeah.
So let me share this. I'm
Yeah.
going to be brief here. Does religion cause war? Only 5% according to experts. Research centers, database, and intellectual consoles assumes that country what has been reported, the cause of wars have hardly been religious. The factor of religion may influence 5% of the wars, about 100, but no more. The rest have been power struggles, political, economic, and ethnic. By the way, this is a Christian website. It's literally a Christian website. All right. Let me quote. So basically, they quote a book, is the Encyclopedia of War,
Right.
Warfare.
Mhm.
Yeah, here we go. Encyclopedia of Wars by Charles Phillips and Alan Exod. He analyzed 1,700 wars in human history. Only 6 to 7%, about 123 wars, were classified as mainly religious. This included the Crusade, the European Wars of Religion, and the Islamic Jihad. So only 6%. Only 6%. So how does Islam produce the highest amount of wars from only 6%? Like, what?
The data not supporting his claims. Yeah, can
Yeah.
tell. Mm.
And here's the funny thing. He himself argued this. He himself argued this. He himself argues this. Hold on. Let me show you guys the section where he says this. Let me quote him directly. And I'm gonna expose it. Hold on. Let me share this video that he made arguing against an atheist. Arguing against an atheist. Or Aaron Roth, more specifically. Let me share this. Oh, this is good. This is juicy. Let me share this. This is hilarious. So I believe this is in 6 minutes.
Okay.
Go there.
I think I've seen this video before.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it looks familiar. Oh, this is from Aaron Ross' bit, isn't it? Yeah, I think I may have seen it
All
before.
right, let's play this.
And no evidence has been presented that Christianity is ever a cause of terrorism. The Encyclopedia of Wars lists 1,763 historical conflicts, and in the index only classifies 122 of them as religious, which can even be disputed, as we will get to later in this video. The overwhelming amount of data indicates religiosity, and specifically Christian religiosity, leads away from violence and war, instead of being a cause of violence and war.
So he himself is saying religion doesn't cause wars.
Oh my god, his own data is contradicting him. Oh my. Oh,
This
dear.
guy, he himself in his own video claims religion doesn't cause wars.
Yeah, but only Islam
And
causes
now,
wars. Other
when
religions-
when
other
when it comes to
religions
debating with
don't.
Muslims, all of a sudden religion does cause wars. So which one is it, Michael?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
He's not
This guy is a
consistent.
charlatan, man.
He's
This guy
not
is a
consistent.
charlatan. Wallahi,
God.
bro.
My
Wallahi.
God, he's a joke.
He is such a fraud. Like, you just have
Yeah.
to look at his videos where he's debating with atheists, trying to debunk atheists. And he gets debunked by himself. Like, he contradicts himself.
Contradicts
This is
himself
shameful.
in elsewhere. Yeah.
This is shameless. So, like, my question to Michael is, you need to explain, okay, so what is your position exactly? Do you think religion causes less war? Because you cite just data that says only 6% to 5%. So, like, so which one is it? Does religion not cause war, or does it actually cause war? And Islam is the most that caused it. Like, this guy's a charlatan. And he literally himself is saying that religion doesn't cause war.
All I can say is he's not consistent. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get back. I think we're done almost.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to retire soon. I have work tomorrow. It's already quite
Yeah.
late.
Let me see if
Yeah.
there's anything else I wanna
Yeah.
share.
Yeah.
There's one thing I wanna share before we go.
Okay.
A few
Okay.
things, actually.
All right.
It's not a big troll. We're gonna debunk this guy, but
Okay.
there's some things.
Okay.
I wanna show it to you guys. Okay. So this is a data. This is a Facebook post, nothing serious, but it shows the higher countries with the highest Muslim population. And you will notice that none of these countries have faced interstate conflict. Let me share this. This is just a post that I found on Facebook, so it's nothing serious, but here it is. So let's look at this, right? So the country with the highest Muslim population is Indonesia. How many interstate wars has there been in Indonesia in the last 10 years, 20 years? None. All right, so Indonesia is out. Let's look at Pakistan. Again, how many interstate wars have Pakistan been involved with? Besides some skirmish with India? Nothing. India,
Zero.
obviously, doesn't count. India,
Yeah, it's the
obviously,
same.
Muslims in India. Muslims
Yeah,
in India.
Bangladesh is also the same. There's nothing. There's no
Same.
real war. Nigeria,
Nigeria,
not really. Maybe there is some skirmishes with
yeah,
Boko
civil war
Haram, but
skirmish
other than
maybe.
that, yeah,
Other
but
than that,
nothing much. Yeah, nothing much. Egypt, definitely not.
Egypt, definitely not.
Definitely
There's been
not.
some dictator takeover, but like no interstate
Yeah,
wars.
yeah.
Turkey, no interstate
Not
war.
really.
Iran,
Not
Iran
really.
is the exception. Iran is the
Yeah.
exception because
But
they attack.
yeah, but they're being attacked, so they defend themselves. So it's totally just. So it's not. There's not a
China,
war.
obviously not. Like there's no.
Maybe there is with the Uyghur, maybe, but not much. I guess you can say, yeah. Yeah, but
Algeria.
they're not. But they're not a Muslim country anyway, so it doesn't matter. Algeria definitely not. I don't think there's any wars in Algeria. Yeah.
So none of these majority Muslim population. So majority Muslim population are not involved in an interstate war. That's an objective fact. So how can you argue? Like how many is this? This is almost a billion, like more than a billion, I think. Right? Share of Muslim population majority, yeah, yes, I think 60-70% something. 4, 7, sorry, yeah, it's like a billion or something like that. But anyway, so the point is that there's not been an interstate war in the Muslim countries. So like how can you argue that Muslims are causing the most amount of wars? That makes no sense. So if you look at Muslim countries within the last 10 years, there's not been any war or any major wars, right? So like how can you even argue that? It takes like 5 seconds to debunk this. But anyway, let's continue. We're gonna watch 5 more minutes and then we're gonna end this, inshallah. We already exposed this guy. This guy's a fraud. Like he himself is in his own video is claiming that religion doesn't go to war, and then now he's saying it does, and then he's using data to prove that only the smallest percentage are caused by religion, and now he's arguing no, actually Islam causes the most amount of religion. That's fraud.
It's not consistent.
We look at it in every single Christian country?
No!
What? So then that can't be a factor.
It is a
one is better than or worse than the
You're
other.
definitely not kidding.
Oh my
When
God.
you factor in all the countries, you see this as a reoccurring thing where you're going to get more consanguineous marriages.
Yes,
you're
we
gonna
find
get
it in both
hold on, let me
Christianity and
finish. I
Islam.
just let you
You
talk.
find it in both.
I just let you talk. It's okay. It's gonna be
Go
okay.
ahead.
It's okay. We're still seeing that after that is all weighed. For example, you brought up Brazil, but there are other weighing factors there. So when we take all the Christian countries together,
So all of a sudden, like Christian countries doesn't matter. Data from Christian countries doesn't matter when it contradicts you.
what are we going to get? Well, it doesn't seem Christianity as a motivating factor. We see this as more cultural.
Yeah,
A sufficient cause. A sufficient
Primary,
cause.
number one.
No, not even primary number one. It's
So far, let's go back to the. Let's go forward a
Islam.
bit.
Now, if you go to, for example, like Ethiopia, which is poorer, less resources, it's going to have worse results because of other factors. But
Blah blah blah. This is repeating the
Christianity-
nonsense.
at the end of the day, there's a difference here. I'm citing data. I'm citing experts. And they're showing, yes,
All right, let's-
Islam is
let's
producing
find out.
inferior societies. We got concessions here. You guys are okay with child marriage. Okay, that's wrong. There's more child marriage in the Middle East
No one said that. That's a straw man.
Yeah.
and North
Yeah.
in the societies. You agree. There's more cousin marriage in those societies. That produces negative results.
Again, no one has claimed that. He provided no evidence for it.
The result of child marriage. You agreed that societies that produce more abuse are bad. Guess what? The data shows Muslim communities and societies have more abuse. You agreed that
No, it doesn't. There are only 1,000 maybe cases of Muslim abuse, where if you look at Europe, it's like millions. So like no.
conflict is bad. Guess what? Muslim societies produce more conflict. So it doesn't matter what you say. At the end of the day, this is not even a debate.
Again, this is also a lie. You look at the majority of Muslim countries, they've
Yeah.
never been involved in interstate conflict. Unlike European and American countries, who's been one war after another, right? Look
Yes.
at the world wars. The Second
Yeah.
World War.
Yeah.
Millions died. Millions. Then
Yeah.
you look at the American war with the Vietnam, the Vietnam conquest. the-
Korea. There's Korea.
Yeah, Korean wars. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Korean
then
wars,
this,
Iraq.
Cold
not-
War
Iraq.
doesn't count.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Korea is not really a war. Iraq,
But there were some conflicts,
Afghanistan, Afghanistan, yeah, all
Afghanistan,
this.
Iraq,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
of course them attacking
Now
Iran,
the most recent is Iran. So yeah,
Yeah.
America starts more
Iran,
wars.
then
America
Afghanistan.
United States starts more wars than Muslim countries combined together.
Yeah, and of course their allies. NATO is also involved in this.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and their allies. Yeah.
America is NATO. Anyway.
Yeah, and then let's not forget there's a war now between Ukraine and Russia. Both are Christian countries.
Yeah.
Majority
Yeah.
countries, Christian majority countries, right? Yeah. So yeah.
So overall, the point is that the debate topic was is that which is which is more harmful for society, Islam or Christianity? The argument he made is that Islam allows X, therefore it causes X. It doesn't follow as a non sequitur.
Cousin marriage is bad for you.
And also, the
Cousin
things he's claiming also exist in Christianity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
needs to explain that. It's a
Cousin marriage, child
inconsistent
marriage.
argument.
Oh, my.
Completely
Yeah.
inconsistent argument. And then if you look at my argument, which is that Christianity is harmful for society objectively because it
Yeah.
causes genocide.
Yes.
It commands its followers to commit genocide, and we know
Yeah.
when Jesus comes back, he will commit genocide, right? So objectively, Christianity will cause genocide in every possible world. Therefore, it follows that Christianity is harmful in every possible world.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Yeah.
Christianity is objectively harmful for society.
Exactly that. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, like this is such a stupid debate. Like the points he raised goes against himself, right? Like he's saying that Muslim countries see more wars, and then in another debate he's arguing that no, actually religion doesn't cause wars. He's saying that Islam causes wars,
He's contradicting himself all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
and in his own videos too. Like this guy's a charlatan, man. This guy is a charlatan. But anyway, so yeah, I guess we're done with
I
that.
mean, is he sure that he has a MA in philosophy, because it seems like he doesn't have any.
He has no qualification, man.
Oh my
Like,
God,
I'm
this
talking-
guy.
if you look at because the thing is that when you look at like actual educated people, you know they're educated because they just speak differently. Okay, you can
Yeah.
understand that this
Yeah.
person is not educated. Like for example, if you look at like someone like Sheikh Uthaymeen or like Noam Chomsky, like this, when these people speak, they'll speak differently. You know these people are
Yeah.
knowledgeable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you speak to people who are actually
Like,
not
but
knowledgeable,
even like
but they think they
and,
know.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
They think they know something. They will constantly whine. They'll try to justify their position. They'll misrepresent data.
Yeah.
It's charlatans like this, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my advice to Muslims is, don't debate him. It's a waste of time. First of all. Secondly, if you are going to debate him, just be aware of the deceptive tactics he uses and don't trust him. Like he lies about data. He's constantly lying about data, as I showed in the video. So yeah, any last thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I think you're right on that one point, which is basically, Muslims shouldn't give him any platform. In fact, I would say not just him, but also people like Apusi, David Wood, God Logic, again, who has no logic, by the way. All these Islamophobes, they shouldn't be given a platform. But I don't understand why Muslims are giving them space and
Yeah, I mean, I'm
and-
not against like them
Yeah.
debating. I do understand like
No, I don't mind debating. I mean, I've been involved in debates myself, but why these people specifically? I mean, if you want to debate them that badly, just debate them once and that's it. But you keep
Yeah.
debating the same person over and over again. Why do you need to do that? And if it's
Yeah.
people like, especially like this guy IP Mike Jones, which we know has a history of lying with data and such, why even give him any space at all? You see?
yeah. And if Michael or any of his bots are watching, if you want to debate any of us, just send us an email. Has to be third party channel. We're not gonna
Yeah,
debate you
sure.
on your
Yeah.
channel,
Yeah,
right? A third party
definitely.
something, and
Yeah.
there has to be a term that we are allowed to speak for 2 minutes. Then you're allowed to speak for 2 minutes. No interjection. We're fine with that.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
I can find a moderator to moderate the debate. It's not an issue, but we can do it on our
Challenge you
platform.
to a
Your-
debate.
Yeah, your platform, my platform doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, we can.
No.
organize
I
something.
think it has to be a neutral platform. Like these people are
Yeah,
liars.
neutral platform is
They
also
will have
fine.
like their
Yeah.
mods helping them out, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, a neutral platform is probably fine. It's fine as well. Yeah, it doesn't matter where. But the point is that it has to be in a proper structured manner, of course. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much it. Yeah.
Yeah. But personally, I'm not interested in debating them anyway. But if they want to debate,
Yeah.
we're right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
mean, honestly, I wouldn't make them my first choice of being debaters, debating to them. But if they want to, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, but I wouldn't debate them more than once. I think once is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like these people are charlatans anyway. Like it's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
waste of time.
That's right.
But anyway, so yeah, as you guys saw, this guy's a fraud, and yeah, if you guys like the stream, by the way, thank you guys for those who joined the streams. I think most
Yeah.
of you left. No, by
How,
now.
how many
But
how many people are watching
there were
right now?
five. There were like 5 or 6 watching at one point. So there are
Okay.
people watching. Oh, there's one brother watching. Anyway, thanks
Okay.
for watching, guys. We're gonna go now. It's been
Yeah.
almost 3 hours now. So brother Emin has to
Okay.
go. So
Yeah, I have to go now.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So again, thank you, bro Emin, for joining me. Inshallah.
Always a pleasure.
Stream, and thank you
Yeah.
guys for watching. If you guys like the stream, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Also subscribe to Brother Image's channel. I'm gonna send
Yeah,
you the link later on.
I don't
So
have any
you subscribe
new
to both
content, but
channels.
yeah, why not? Yeah, sure. Yeah, please do. Please do
You can
subscribe to my
subscribe to both
channel and
channels.
brother Islamic Connect's channel too.
Yeah, and stay away from Christian charlatans. So yeah, I guess with that message, I'm gonna end the
Yeah.
stream. Thank you guys for watching.
Right.
Sure. See you
Right.
guys next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.